Yeah, my computer was acting weird, so I was like, I'm not. Oh wait. Oh man, I didn't. I gotta go set this up on Instagram. Let's see. Hey everybody, we're getting things set up for Instagram. Just give us 1 second here. It says we're live on Instagram, but I don't think we are. Let's remove Instagram and let's add Instagram.
Oh, you're on Twitch.
Yep, we are. Public and next. Get the key. Copy the key and save changes and go live. Man, I hate packing. I know I'll forget something.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta pack much.
I
This is the temperatures.
I brought treats. Turkey boards.
Those are good.
I mean, so Elizabeth has like a take on the parties for the vlog, but she definitely prefers the Christmas one because she likes the cookies more than the candy trails.
Are those
I kind of agree.
Are those Cheryl's?
Yeah, the Cheryl's cookies. Yeah.
So that's what Pam usually sends us for Christmas.
Yeah.
We have
I use them now too for work for an event I do.
They're so good. They're like cracker.
Like I kind of wither. Like I think I like that more than the trick or treat candy and like the cookies.
So here's my line around. Once Pam sends those to us, I'm like, Mallory, slow down on the cookies, dude. Because I'll just see like an empty wrapper. I'm like, easy. I want the green ones.
Yeah.
Cheryl's cookies, because I didn't even know they were a thing until Pam started mailing them to us. I had never heard of them.
Yeah,
things are they just like they crumble.
Well, there's the funny story about those where she sent them to Jocelyn and they like were delivered like 9 months later. and they were like, why is Pam sending like these nasty, like moldy, expired cookies?
I would eat them nasty and expired. Those things, they're like butter.
I'm glad like she caught it before like the kids. I mean, this is years ago. So like the kids were like, oh yeah, let's get into these. And she was like, whoa, wait a second. Something doesn't look right on those.
I didn't know she was sending cookies from Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Heck.
Right.
She's doing it right. Hooking it up. Hey everybody, happy Monday. Shout out. Monday. All right, so we are going to do things backwards today. So we're going to do Friday show first. Then we're going to do Wednesday show because Rikki is going to join us hopefully for the second show. She's stuck in traffic. But for the first show, we're going to do a trip report, which will be Friday show. Scott's trip report from the fort, the golf cart, candlelight, hoop-de-doo, sitting by the piano guy, all that good stuff.
Dude, I've never not sat next to that guy.
At this point, you're almost engaged to the guy. So
yeah, basically, like we exchange numbers.
You're an item, dude. You're okay. What number is this? This is 2607. All right.
Still haven't caught his name yet, though.
I still don't know his name. You exchanged digits.
He's a hoop-de piano guy in my contacts.
Hoop-de piano guy. All right, let's do this. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2607 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you are getting ready for a great weekend and the day is going well. We have a great podcast for you today, and well, I'm having a great day because I hope you're following me on social media because I'm on a boat and I'm not even on Living with the Land. I got to admit, Living with the Land, especially this time of the year, glittering greenhouses, that's a great place to be. But I can go one better than that. Today, I'm waking up on the Disney Treasure. That's right. I got to give myself a ding on that one. So follow me at Be Our Guest Mike. Today, we're at sea. So I'll just be exploring the ship. Got the Wi-Fi kicking, so we'll be checking that out. Of course, when we record Monday, when I get back, all questions about the Disney the Treasure, I almost said the Dream, the Treasure, and Ben Lappin, who's going on this cruise with me from the Magic for Less, will be joining us. We'll have Rikki, Scott, Ben. We'll be taking your questions and all about the Treasure. So if you want to know about it, join us Monday afternoon as we record live. Jump in with us. have a good time. But today, it's all about the guy who got to have fun last week and actually called into the show on Sunday night as he was there. He was all business while he was down there, but also eating some Cheryl's cookies, which we were just talking about. Your friend and mine. I feel like I got to strike up the house band, but I'm not going to do that today. Hashtag Scotty G in the Santa hat that he got during the party. What's up, Scott?
Happy Friday, Mike. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this is what a good friendship is. We get jealous of each other's trips, you know. So you were jealous of me about 10 days ago, a week ago, when I was down in Florida, tracking me on Find My Friends. And now it's my turn to be jealous as you're waking up on the beautiful Disney Treasure this morning. Like, just think about that. You're waking up on the Disney Treasure this morning. How many people have woken up on that ship? Not many, I'll tell you that.
I'll be
That's pretty
having
awesome.
churro Mickey waffles.
Oh man, those are so good. Like, people go crazy for those on the ships, and I understand why. I mean, they're so good, but like, you know, you can go to Crystal Palace too to get them too, which is another great way to get them. But they're better at sea, absolutely, right?
They're better at sea and they're better when they're free.
Right. But let me give you some advice. Like, be careful today. It is Friday the 13th. Like, don't go
Oh,
too close to
shut up.
the railing, man.
Why
I'm
did
just
you say that? Why I got that in my head? Why would you even say that? That you are something wrong with you. What do
no,
you
I'm just looking out for my boy. Like, don't go too close to the railing today.
Yeah.
All right, just be
We
safe.
have a veranda and I'm going to be on a treadmill, probably choppy seas now. I don't know. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be the best Friday the 13th ever on the Disney Treasure.
What are you doing? Oh my gosh, I'm not getting tomorrow. Well, till tomorrow will be the 14th. I'll say I'm not getting in the ocean. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I know. It's going to be a great sea day. You know what's weird about today and recording is that when it's just you and me, like, I mean, there's times where it's just you and me, but I feel like, hey, why aren't the phone lines open? You know, doesn't it feel kind of weird that we're not
I
taking
know.
calls?
I know. It's like as soon as I see you, I hear.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, it's like radio voice. Here we go.
Boom. Are we tricking people? Then you
No,
just said that yesterday on the feed?
I know. Didn't you? Exactly. I don't have the phone lines fired
Yeah.
up, so we're not
Well, it's
having.
fun. I mean, you and I have done this before. I know Pam's out and Ricky's running into some traffic, so it's fun doing a you and me show that's not Sunday night. It doesn't happen actually it does happen, but
It
yeah.
does happen. I mean, it's just like a phone. It's like FaceTime or a phone call for us, but you guys are all just hanging out with us. So
Yeah,
anyway,
just
we
hang
got
out with our private conversations today. I love it. Yeah.
when we go on a podcast cruise, this is us hanging out in the hyperspace lounge or
There you
something,
go.
or the tube. But here we are.
I should have made an old fashioned to celebrate us
Dude,
today.
I
But
know, seriously. So man, we had a good time with our boy, and we're still thinking about our boy Steve and his
yep.
recovery. Always thinking about him, and but man, we had a good time in the Cove. It's weird that we did an old fashioned tasting in the Cove. I think that's the weird. It worked out well on the Wish on the last podcast cruise.
Worked out
I mean,
great.
we took it over. I mean, it was just us basically. It was
It
a
was a
weird.
lot of our group, most
Is
of
it?
our group. Yeah.
Yeah, was it not a weird place and time to do an old fashioned tasting? Wasn't it like 10:30 the last night of our cruise and in the Cove Cafe?
Dude, it might have been 11. Like, I don't know. It was super late.
but it was fun, and I
Oh,
still
so
remember
much
the
fun.
one that tasted like Christmas. Oh man,
Yeah, I mean, they did four of them. There was like tequila based old fashions. There was a rum old fashioned, which I think was
oh,
my favorite of them. But yeah, our boy Steve was right. We were like right there in the center of the room because of the way it was like
yep.
we had people on like the walls, and you, me, and Steve, and Paige was with us too, right in the center, captain hats and all. We owned that place. It was a lot of fun. So think about you, Steve, on the road to recovery, my man.
We do always got the hats. I don't know what it is lately.
Why are we
The hats.
why are we teenagers? I don't know, but we are.
Captain hats last night. We got Santa hats going today. All right. So today you're the star. We're talking about your trip. You were down at Walt Disney World celebrating the. Now you went. Let's talk about. Let's kick it off here by talking about why you chose to go when you went because. As you were down there, like you said, I like stalking you when you're on your trips, find my friends, stuff like that, all your social media. But you picked a sweet week because you got Thanksgiving. We talked about this a little bit on Sunday night, which was on the feed yesterday. You got Thanksgiving meals, you got Christmas decorations, you celebrated Liz's birthday. You got to kind of say bye to Dino Land, got to win some prizes over there with Emily. I mean, you got so much in this window while you were there, candlelight processional. So, I mean, there's a lot of intentionality in what you do with your Disney trips. I mean,
For sure.
look at your spreadsheets. But tell us about how you picked exactly this window to travel.
Well, I picked this window because of kind of what you were just saying there, but a lot of it has to do with the school schedule, right? And my work schedule. So I know people always think like you must have unlimited PTO. I even hear that in my own
We
work.
say that a lot in this house. I'm just saying, but you must be dropping in. I'm like, dude, he gets more
But
time off than I am,
I
and I'm
just I just plan it
like,
around holidays is what I do. So we get Thanksgiving off, right? That's a observed holiday here in the States, and my company gets a half day the following day on Friday. So that's a day and a half right there that I don't have to put in for PTO. So I like to use my time around those dates to just make longer trips out of it. So, we were there for 6 nights, 7 days, and I only used 3.5 days of PTO. So that worked out really well. Plus, Emily was off that Wednesday. I don't know like how Mallory school is. Like, I remember never getting any time off around there. We get Thursday and maybe that. I think we got Friday off too, but we never got like Wednesday before off of school. But she does, so it's an extended break for her too. So it just works out really perfect for us.
yeah, schools are getting soft. They get off all kinds of days now.
I know.
I'm just gonna call it what it is.
I will say it worked out really well for us though, because she missed Monday and Tuesday when we got back. I mean, after that break, and so we came back on a Wednesday. She had school, got all her missing assignments for those 2 days, and then Thursday was a snow day, Mike. So then she got to catch up on everything she missed. It was perfect. Couldn't have worked out better.
There's nothing better if you roll the dice as a Disney family this time of year. Like you're rolling the dice, right? And you live in the Midwest, somewhere a little bit north, and you get a snow day. You're
It's the
like,
best. It
oh
was
man, yes.
this year at the Disneyland, the races. Emily had 2 snow days while we are gone. She only missed like one day of school. It was perfect.
It's like the Disney gods were with us
Right.
this trip. Exactly.
But I love choosing this time of year. We've done this several times because we get Liz's birthday, we get Thanksgiving, and you get the holiday spirit, the Christmas spirit. Like nothing gets me more excited like being at Walt Disney World during this time of year because you got candlelight, you got the parties, you got the festival of the holidays, like the holiday kitchens. It just lifts my spirit so much that I just love traveling. It's busy, but it's worth it to me traveling this time of year.
Okay, so let's make this practical for our listeners here because we kind of do this on Mondays, and I just want to hit some of the big things. So our boy Mohawk Scotland, he really is into looking at those travel miles and making his money go the furthest it can. A lot of our listeners are doing that, especially our international listeners. He was asking, because you've done this many times, flown into Tampa rather than MCO. Again, busy time to travel, kind of an expensive time to travel around the holidays. This time you did fly into MCO. How was it? You guys fly Delta? Any thing to add as far as travel there and back this time? Anything you learned? Renting a car too.
Yeah, pretty smooth as usual. Like we give ourselves a little more time to travel this week when we go on Thanksgiving because like the news is there, they're talking about, oh, this is the busiest travel day of the year. So we're like, we don't want to risk anything here. So we got there pretty early, I will say, and then we're TSA pre-check, so that helps save time too. And it was just a walk in the park. We were there so early, and our flight got delayed like 45, 50 minutes. So Mike, we were there really early that day, but it was fine.
To me,
Very
dude, I'm at the airport so early. I like airports. I'm an
me too,
idiot.
yeah.
Like that's my jam, and especially when my family hates it. When I'm by myself, I just like walk around, look at all the stores.
Mhm.
That's my thing.
But let me tell you something about this delayed flight. They changed planes on us. So we get there, we get through everything, and then we realize all three of us are in a different seat assignment.
I saw that.
So we normally like I book Liz and Emily on the same confirm because Liz has good, Delta rewards. So sometimes you can get upgraded, but you can only upgrade one person. So it makes sense for them to be on one. I'm on a separate, but I still find a seat next to them. But no, so we get through TSA pre-check and all that, flight's delayed, and then boom, we're in 3 different seats. And I'm like, what's happening? And then like I'm in first class, which makes no sense. So
Because you're Scotty G. They're like, dude,
maybe. So Mike, I keep telling Liz, like, you gotta take the first class seat. Tomorrow is your birthday. It's Thanksgiving. It's your favorite holiday. I can't take this seat. She's like, no, 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 it's fine. Like, I get the first class upgrades usually, so you should get it. So I'm like, all right, I keep battling that. So I board first because I'm in that zone one. Mike, I don't know if you know anything about like the Delta plane setups, but this was not a typical Delta plane setup.
Picture, dude.
Yeah.
That was nicer than my living room.
Yeah, so they had the Delta One seats was their first class. So this is where you have like the flat laying seat and like the giant screen TV basically. Like I was like, oh my God, I am in Delta One. This is not first class. And as any like big Delta flyer knows, like Delta One is like jackpot, it's the best seat to get. So I'm sitting in there, and then like Liz comes in like 90 seconds later. I'm like, and she's like, her mouth drops, like, what the heck? You're like, you're in Delta
Get
One.
your
I'm like,
butt out of that seat. I'm
and
changing
I,
my mind.
and I said, Liz, this is your seat if you want it. She's like, yeah, I'll take it. So I did get 90 seconds in that seat, but it was wild. So like I ended up still like moving back. I took Elizabeth's new assignment, and like it was just weird. Like we're all separated, but it works for our family, right? Emily's 17. We've been flying a lot. Like it's a 2.5 hour flight. Like we can manage, minus the screaming child that just screamed forever for 20 minutes on takeoff. That was a little painful, but other than that, it was a smooth flight.
I mean, you got it's like planes, trains, and automobiles, man. It's Thanksgiving. Got it.
Right.
Got
You
to
just got to roll with. I was worried though that this flight wasn't going to take off, and the screaming child was sitting next to Emily, so everyone like kept looking, and she was like, "Oh my god!" I was worried that all the travelers thought like I was part of that family, because like she was sitting next to the screaming child, but they just couldn't. They couldn't stay seated, and with their seatbelt, like you had to have like your seatbelt fastened, for takeoff, and she wasn't like a lap child, and she just wiggled herself out of the seatbelt every time, like she would get buckled. It was a mess, but the Delta agent, I think, just kind of turned their head at takeoff, and she ended up sitting on the mom's lap. But hey, we took off, we got there safe, and yeah, now it's time for the vacation to finally start.
I fly Southwest and Frontier, dude. I know nothing of this. Of these little lay flat seats and big jumbo TV. I strap in and watch my phone, and I'm good. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know about assigned seats, dude. I just get in and grab a window, snap that seat buckle. Let's go. Let's roll.
Let's go.
Exactly. No, that sounds like I saw your seat. I was like, holy God, I'd want to go halfway around the world if I had a seat like that. Like,
yeah, that's why I was so confused. Those are for international flights.
Like, I want to go 13 hours if I get a seat like that. That's too short.
Right. Yeah, those are normally for like really long flights to like Hawaii or other countries. Like this is not a flight from Michigan to Orlando.
Say, dude, I'll be like, hold up, I appreciate your love, but can I hold this off until March when I'm going to Hawaii?
Yes, I know, right? Can I reserve this for the future?
Can I bank this one? Exactly.
Bank it. I love it.
Can I sit back by the urinal or something, until on this one, and I'll wait and hold this.
But I know, like, not to get too crazy, but like my trip to Hawaii, like the day we fly is like a day one of like the NCAA men's tournament, like, can I just lay back and just have the basketball games going all day?
You're winning at life.
Dude, I know I'm smart when I book things, man. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So you get there. So how does it, so you're at Fort Wilderness. Like this is you're kind of checking off all the resorts for Walt Disney World. This was your last one, right?
This was it. This was the
cabins.
This was the final one to stay at. Not like all room categories, just the resort.
Yeah, the resort.
And like, so the check-in process, have you stayed there before?
I have not, because my wife says she needs a food court. Like that's her thing, dude. I can't get her. And I'm like, it's not camping, it's glamping. Like, I mean,
it is glamping. Dude, I could just see Pam having a ball on that golf cart.
That's the ironic thing. Like when we were first dating, we used to do things in Missouri. We do these things called float trips. You know what a float trip is?
I don't.
You don't know what float trips are?
No, I don't.
So, real quick, this is a Mike in the Midwest thing. If you listen to Mike in the Midwest, I think I probably talked about this. So this is a big people everywhere. Where I live, everybody does. It's like a summer thing. Everybody does this all the time. You go on these smaller tributary rivers of the Mississippi and the Missouri. Like there's rivers called the Merrimack, the Hoosier, the Current. We have all these smaller rivers. And what they do is you go to these campgrounds and you get in they buy these old, like, wore out school buses that the school districts can't use anymore, right? Because they're like too run down to use for kids. They buy them. And so they'll take you up these smaller rivers about 15 miles, right? Upriver. And they'll put like kayaks and rafts on top of the bus and they'll drop you off like upriver about 15 miles. And what you do is you float down the river all day. And like what you do is you load up the kayak or the raft with like beer and all kinds of alcohol and like radios and stuff, and you just float down these rivers all day. It's like a floating party.
Yeah. Okay, so we do have that. I'm just not familiar with that term, I guess.
Then you camp at night, right? Then when you get back down, it's you barbecue and camp, and that's like whatever.
So Pam likes doing that?
Dude, we did that all the time. We were like beginning teachers. Like all the teachers would get together on Friday. We'd camp, Friday night. We'd float again Saturday, camp Saturday night, come home on Sunday. So we slept like in tents. like intense back then, and now she won't even go to Fort Willis. She's like,
So
I really need a food
so she
court.
says she needs a food court, but like, because does the counter service place work? Because like the Trails End counter service like is good
Yeah,
food, you know. Like I think she would like that.
she's, we're not spring chicken.
I'm gonna talk to Pam. I'm gonna
I
talk to
I
Pam because we
know.
got to get you there. I think you would love the
I,
Sky vacation,
I
Mike.
would. I'm in, dude. I'm in. I know. I got to revisit that. I know. We have that was years ago. We need.
Yeah. Well, the
Anyways,
reason I asked if you
go ahead.
stayed there because the check-in process was rather unique to me. So, and I know you probably pulled into the fort and you're at the guard shack and you can go left and you see like all these like these big lanes, like these drive-throughs, kind of like a going through like
Yeah,
through
it's for
your
the
credit
campers,
union or
right?
whatever, like where your
Yeah,
camper
it's
like
for the
checks in.
trailers and stuff and the fifth wheels, right?
And that's where they had us go. And I felt like that wasn't right. So if anyone listening in the chat, like if you're just a car, like renting a cabin, do they make you go that way? Because that did not feel right. Because like I am just surrounded by RVs and campers, like, and we're waiting an extremely long time. And we have groceries. Like we've already been to Publix and all that, and we got groceries. It's close to 4 o'clock, check-in time, and we're just sitting there waiting for a light to go green for us to go through, like you would like at the bank or whatever. And finally one goes green, and I actually like cut some people off, like because there was like I had my eye on this one lane that had no cars in it, but it was red. But I saw a person like getting ready to like set it up.
Oh
And the
yeah,
second that thing flashed green, I was like, boom! I was like over there,
you're getting
like
ready for running the go kart or the golf
yeah,
cart.
like I'm just a car, man. I'm not like checking in some RV and have to do like cart insurance confirmations, like just get me up here. So it was weird. Like I was checking in for the hotel, like you would do at a front desk, like in a lobby, but through in the car.
Yeah,
Like it was kind
yeah.
of different. So, I mean, that was a cool experience. Like they gave me the map and all that and talked about like where to get the golf cart. And then she gave me the news that you always hate to hear. Your room is
Room is
not
not
ready.
ready, dude. But it's in person instead of a text.
I
Bing.
know, right? I know. And I'm gonna share a theory I have here in a moment, but I'm never having a room ready. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just have bad luck or what. I
Oh, dude.
never have a room ready on time.
I guarantee you my room wasn't ready Wednesday because you just said that. I don't
Yeah.
either. And the thing
Yeah.
is, I'll get 7 of those texts saying, hey, guess what? Your room is not ready.
Almost ready.
Ah,
Yeah. I didn't even get one of those. I
then.
didn't even get one of those that
Oh,
day.
dude, quit playing with me then. You're
So
yanking my
they're like, "Well, do you have groceries?" I'm like, "Yeah, we have some groceries, like because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, we like to make cinnamon rolls and bacon and all that stuff during the parade."
cinnamon rolls in those things look
Yeah,
like the bomb. Those
yeah,
look
that's our tradition, like for
yeah.
Thanksgiving morning, right? Watch the parade and all that stuff. So we're like, "Yeah, we got some cold stuff." They're like, "Well, there's a community fridge over by," so they kind of do still have like a check-in lobby off to the side. She's like, "You can go in there and use the community fridge, just park, and then wait for your room." Mike, there was no place to park. Like I mean, it was insane, the parking lot. And you've seen the parking lot, right? Because like when you pull in, that's kind of where you park. And then if you're doing hoop-de-doo, then you hop the shuttle or whatever and get over there. There was no place to park. There's cars on the grass.
I'm
There's like
saying,
this,
yeah, don't you just make your own parking spot there? I've
like
seen people park on the grass.
I'm like a rule follower though. So like and Liz kept telling me like just park in the grass. I'm like,
No.
I can't. I just couldn't do it.
See
And
where
then
I
I hit
live, dude, you just make your own. And I drive a Jeep, dude. I always make my own parking spots.
the most frustrating part about this to me though is that there were golf carts parked in these spots. And there's a golf cart parking lot like really close by to there, kind of like where the bus depot is, like where the horses kind of cross over. I'm like, why are you wasting these car spots? Like I actually gave some people some dirty looks because I drove through it for 40 minutes trying to
Oh,
find a parking spot.
killing
And
me.
you know what I did next? I gave up because I really had to go to the restroom, Mike. So I drove over to Old Key West, my home, where they just boom let me in. And then like I was like, I know I can go to the restroom right here at Olivia's, So I actually went to Old Key West for like a half hour while I was waiting for my room, waiting for this. Isn't that kind of funny? Because I knew I could park there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Number one. It was number one. I mean, I'm just but
I had that on board and I've never got to use it.
I know there's a lot of information just trying to get checked in, but this is like
that
this
is
was
that's
important to
cool.
me because like I'm just waiting. And now like we come back, it's like 5 o'clock and we're still not ready. We go into we finally find a parking spot because people are probably getting their rooms assigned. And they're like, I'm sorry, you don't have your room assigned yet. It's a busy day for us. And like this kind of gets, and this is gonna, I'm a very positive guy. This is gonna be kind of like my negative part of the trip. This is the only like really big hiccup, and it happens, right? But it happens to me all the time. Like I never get my room assigned. And we just said to the cast member, I'm sorry to the cast member I spoke to. They were very friendly though. Like, you would never let me do a late checkout, right? Like if I had to be out at 11:30, you're going to be really frustrated that I haven't left that room. We're an hour and a half past the time that you said I need to check in, and I still can't get in. Like, so that was just like the analogy I gave him. Like, you can't, you'd be mad if I was staying late, but you won't let me check
Yeah.
in on time.
It
And it
has
was
to be
just,
consistent. Yeah, it should
and they
be.
were just saying like it's a busy check-in day. We don't have the staff. I'm like, well, you're Walt Disney World. You're a very large company. You have metrics. You know how many people are coming in here. You know how long it takes for you to clean a room. So can you staff accordingly for that? Or if you don't have the staff, then limit your check-ins for the day. But that would be them losing money. But I don't know. So I just
It corrects me up too at the campgrounds too, because like there's not that many. Because I mean, think about it, you don't have to clean a. I guess you don't really have to clean a campground, but like there aren't that many
I
cabins
know.
compared to like a Pop Century or Caribbean Beach or any of the regular
Yeah.
hotels. That's shocking.
So it was frustrating. They gave us a couple of those like counter service vouchers, and I told them like I'm not asking for this. Like I'm never asking for things. I just want the experience to be better. And it was like closer to 6 o'clock, and we had like a Ohana dinner coming up. Like we're in our travel clothes. Like that's just frustrating for me, and it happens every time, Mike. So, and here's my theory. I was going to tell you. Like you can do like the online check in, like on the app or whatever, like to
Oh,
like check in for your
okay,
room.
oh, wait, stop. Do you always put like the earliest time possible on the app?
Well, they kind of got rid of that. Like now it's like
I
before
know, but I
4. Yeah,
mean, yeah, I always put whatever's the
I was
yeah, I
before
always
4.
put like 8 AM back in the day, but
Yeah.
now I put as early as
But
possible, yeah.
now it's like now all you can do is like before 4 or after
Yeah.
4, which doesn't matter to me. I always get my room after 4 no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
going back to spring break, I checked in. We didn't get to Coronado at like 11:38 p.m. or it might have even been midnight, and I still didn't have my room. I still had to wait 45 minutes to get a room after midnight.
That's
But
crazy.
that's just the luck I have with getting these rooms. So
I'm not with you.
my theory is I always do the online check-in the day before the trip. And I wonder if they assign rooms based on when you did your online check-in. Because like
See, I
you
do
can
mine, like, way before.
yeah,
Like,
because you could book your room that's like, I don't know, like 9 months ahead of time, and you
yeah,
can do
now
your
you can
online
do it, like
check-in right then.
yeah, you can do it, like, weeks
But
ahead.
I always do it the day
I don't think that
before, and I'm
matters.
always like the last. I feel like I'm the last person to get a room, so I wonder if they do it in the order of when you did your online check-in. I know it's a crazy theory, but I
Who
can't
knows?
explain why I always have like a 5:30 check-in.
Okay, so lesson to be learned here on a Friday the 13th, don't travel with Scott. Okay, so let's go on to this. So how
Right.
was the everybody wants to know the real quick because we kind of talked about this. How because you stayed in a new cabin. Of course, right
Yep.
now we're kind of in that transition, new old cabins. What did you think of the layout of the new cabin once you got in and everything was good?
It's an incredible layout. I absolutely love it for a one bedroom. So I booked this at DVC points, and the one bedroom is like one and a half times like what a studio would be, where all other one bedrooms are like double what a studio would be. So it's a pretty good value. And granted, it's a little bit smaller. There's no washer and dryer in these one bedrooms, but man, it felt so homey, Mike. It was so good, like with the kitchen area, like this nice table, and the main room, like the main bedroom, just had those two bunk beds, and like they had these like windows that were like super high, like all this natural light came in, and you could like close blinds if you wanted to, but like the light that came into these rooms were so great. And the main living space had the great Murphy bed that you would pull down, that I love those Murphy beds that
Yeah.
Disney's been using for the last few years. And it felt so cozy, and you're just like in these woods, Mike. It's so peaceful. You got like you got nature out there. You got animals like roaming, roaming in the woods and all that. And the deck. Oh my god! I don't know if you saw the picture of our deck.
The picture of your coffee mug on the deck in the morning.
Yes,
That's like if you told somebody you were at Walt Disney World, nobody would get it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Because the average person pictures like you have to be in the middle of Tomorrowland on a Disney vacation, but that's where it's the evolution of a Disney, vacate. Like for somebody, you got to go like the fifth, sixth, seventh time to get.
It,
That's where you slow down and enjoy morning. It's not always
it
rope crowd.
it was the best mornings, just waking up there and like as a Disney fan, we all love this where you can hear like the horn to like the ferry
Yeah,
boat, the magic, and like
right.
I'm just sitting at my deck like with a coffee, sitting on this chair with like a Mickey silhouette in it, and I'm just got my feet up and I hear the doo. I'm like, oh my god, like could life be any better?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but yeah, so the cabins are great, and I was worried they're going to be like really like on top of each other too, but like I mean they're close by. They want to get as many as they can in there, but it never really felt like crowded. Like now I know it's small. Like if you're trying to back out your car, these are like small little like cul-de-sac areas. Like you got to be really slow and careful because there's kids like on skateboards and like, roller skating. I mean, everyone's like out like playing in the
That's
streets. Like it's
awesome.
so
I
fun.
love
I
that. That
know.
is it's like Americana or something.
Yeah. Everyone's got their like decorations out. I showed you that one with the bluey Santa and like
Yeah.
the nativity scene like all blown up like on their deck. It was just so much fun, and the golf cart like makes all the difference. So your space has like enough space for like one vehicle basically in the front of the cabin, and you can kind of park your golf cart like off to the side there. But what's great is there's like a charging station right there. They have an outlet that's like on the cabin. So every night we would just back our golf cart in and charge it overnight so that we knew we had enough juice for the next day. It was just, man, it was so good. Like that cabin, I joked with Emily like this would be like the best like college dorm you could ever ask for, like a one bedroom depart or like an apartment. Like I would live in that cabin. I really would. It was so great.
Man, it's like,
And
well, I mean, there's that movement like for tiny houses, right? I mean, that's kind of, I
yeah,
mean, it's obviously bigger than a tiny house. It's probably would be too deluxe for that.
right.
I
And we're fortunate that they're still new. Like it smells new. Who knows? We might have been like the 10th family that's ever stayed in there. You know what I mean? Like it has that new smell. And let me tell you, the shower, like the bathroom area, like was one of the best ever. So it has like the tall vaulted ceiling. So the shower felt huge. You would just be in there. Sometimes like you feel kind of crammed in the shower, they're trying to maximize the space, but no, 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 no. It felt nice and comfortable and big in there. And like they had the sink outside. So there's like multiple sinks. So areas where you can get ready, kind of like Disney Cruise Line to a certain extent. It was just an incredible setup. I don't know how the old cabin setup was, but these were great. And here's a kicker that really surprised us. We saw them doing construction on like the new ones. We thought they were just modular. We thought they were just like built like off site somewhere and then
well,
boom,
they
we
just
just dropped
dropped
them
them.
in
Yeah,
there.
that's what I thought.
No, no, you can see them frame them and building them like from like the lot that they're on. So these are actually being built like right on the site, which like impressed me. So like they're just super cool. Like I can't recommend them enough.
Well, dude, they're taking the old ones out and like rolling them down and like selling them on eBay.
Yeah, I think the old ones were modular. I know, right? Yeah, that
I
is
have
kind of
one
funny.
coming like in 2 days when I get
I
home.
did hear from a cast member too, like they were supposed to be done with all the new ones, but the hurricanes that we had this summer kind of backed them up a bit. So they should be close to being done now.
What'd you think of the aesthetic of the outside? You like it?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah, that's so great. The colors, like, so we kind of had like a orangish color, and like the one next to us had a green one, and like it's just like the colors were like just worked so well, and it felt very woodsy too. Like oh my god, they're so good. Let me tell you about this one family though. It was on Thanksgiving. I think I showed a video in the Discord. We're just riding through on our golf cart. It's Thanksgiving, like around 3, 4 o'clock, and there's this family that you remember the table on my deck. They had
Mhm.
their table like out like in the lawn, like almost like in the street. But not only did they had one, they had the neighbor's one. They had the other neighbor's one. They had another neighbor's. They had four of these tables just laid out. They were having a Thanksgiving feast, like
Dude, that
right
is
there, like
so
outside in
cool.
the road.
See, that's and
Like
I mean,
that is vacation right there, man. That is awesome.
that is, I mean, you can't even, that is just like, I mean, because we talk about, at least, I always say this on the show, like Old Key West has a communal feel, like
Yeah.
unlike any other Walt Disney World resort. But right there, I mean, that even goes a little bit further that these folks are coming together, celebrating Thanksgiving. I mean, who knows? There's probably this big family,
Yeah.
cousins and
I'm
aunts and
saying, so they
uncles.
probably like,
I mean, how cool is that?
I was thinking they
That is
probably come here every year, right? They probably book these cabins to have them all next to each other because like there's kids roaming around, like they're just having the time
you
of their.
would never forget that as a family,
I
ever.
would not. I'm not forgetting it, and I was just like 2 cabins down from them. I'm like, I'm getting ideas for next year,
Oh my god, we
right?
gotta do this
Like
sometime.
because you always say like I can't go because I can't miss football. Well, you know what? That TV in the cabin is really nice, Mike. We can go down there, celebrate your birthday and Liz's birthday. We can do our own Thanksgiving
Yeah, I
feast
know.
out in the road. I got ideas.
Depends how the high school football team does. Well, I mean, Mallory will be out of high school here soon, so yeah,
I'm just saying, man.
I don't know. It's not off the table.
I don't
Sean
know.
was asking in the chat though over on Facebook, how far is the laundry? Like, if you want to do laundry, because obviously the one bedrooms usually have the washer dryer. This doesn't. You mentioned. So how is that situation down there?
So there's a quiet pool like in the cabins area that has a laundry kind of like you'd see at the other resorts, that you can go do the pool areas normally have the laundry. And yeah, so if you have a golf cart, it works really well
Yeah,
because you can just golf cart over. Like we were actually like the cabin, the neighborhood right next door to the quiet pool, so we actually could have walked over there even. But yeah, it's pretty easy, and they actually give you a laundry basket in the room too, which is a nice plus. So we always bring a hamper. I think a lot of us bring our own hamper, right, for your dirty clothes and whatnot while you're traveling. But you do have the laundry basket too, so you just load that up, hop in your golf cart, and just a ride over, just a quick ride over. So very easy, I would say, to use. We did not use it for this trip though.
If you book with the Magic for Less, almost every package is going to get the travel laundry bag, which I'm telling you what, man, I use that every trip, and it is
Right.
awesome for stuff like that. Just saying.
So
I have
awesome.
so many of them and all forms of disrepair because they're so destroyed because I've used them for 15 years at this point.
I found two just sitting around the other day. I was like, yes. I was wondering where these were.
The writing is just gone on most of
I know,
mine.
right? But still useful.
It's still useful, but you can't tell where they're from anymore. So we're trying to keep this like 45 minutes, and we'll continue this obviously because you're always going to be on the shows, moving forward here because Pam's, dealing with a lot of stuff. But I'm kind of going to focus more just on the campground experience because
For
that's
sure.
kind of what people are.
That's the new thing here, right? Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, because not many people, and people are curious about this. So the golf cart, let's kind of hit that. You mentioned having that. I mean, you got around, did you just kind of do joy rides on that? It was practical to go down to Hoop De Doo when you had that. Were you like, it's like with Jeeps, like it's a club, right? When you see other people in Wranglers, you give them the Jeep sign, like
Oh
the
yeah.
peace sign when you go around. I mean, like, what was that? I mean, did it meet your expectations? Because they're expensive. I mean, they're almost like a rental car every day.
Yeah, so they are more than some rental cars, honestly. So I looked at the golf cart as a resort fee, right?
Yeah, good way to think of it.
So it was $70 a day. We were there
Oh,
6 nights. So it's $420. No tax on that. It's just straight up 70 a day. And that's expensive. But my gosh, we got our $420 worth. And like I feel like if you did a long stay like we were like a 6 nights, you need a golf cart. It's going to be challenging to go around there. Sure, you can walk and get to like internal shuttles and whatnot, but the golf cart is, I think, pretty essential to be in there because there's just no other way to get around that resort, you know.
well, they have an internal bus, right? I mean, but that's probably
That
not I mean, like the immediacy of having the cart, right?
for
It's like the
sure.
rental car. Like you just go when you want and
Yeah,
boom.
yeah, and you can do the internal bus. You got to walk. You got to find where the closest one is,
Yeah,
like you would at any moderate resort, right? Or like a value. You got to walk around, find which the closest stop
not
is, and you can
efficient.
use it.
Yeah.
But just the ease of that, right? So I talked about how you can just park right in front of your cabin, and then yeah, you can just and there's parking lots all over the place too. So if you want to go to like that main area, you just drive up there and boom, you park it, you find a parking spot, you park your car. It's just like a
That
normal
is so
car, man. It's
funny,
so
dude.
much
That
fun.
is so fun.
I do want to talk about like getting in the cart though too. So you do have to be if you're renting from Disney. So a lot of people do bring their own, right? They got their RVs. Like I saw a Detroit Lions one that was awesome. Like
Think if you had like a helmet cam or
I
cart,
know,
dude, that'd be the bomb.
yeah, I couldn't tell you how many like Mater or like cars themed ones I saw too. Like it's just so much fun, like looking at the carts. But so it is $70 a day, and I do recommend booking that well in advance because the day that we checked in, they had a sign at the desk saying like they were out of carts. So if you didn't book in advance, you weren't getting a
That's a
golf
good
cart.
tip. Good
Yeah.
tip.
So book it as soon as you can, as soon as you book your room. But um $70 a day. Oh, so you have to check in. So it has to be a licensed driver. So you have to have a license to drive these, which makes sense, right?
Yep.
So and it's really easy process. We just go up there to the cart area, which is kind of like where we checked in, that drive-through area where that we checked in. You just got lines of carts just waiting for you. And hey, just show them your ID. You sign a little waiver basically saying like I'm going to be responsible and all that, which everyone should be because people can probably get crazy on golf carts. You should, and they're dangerous too, right? If you've been at Hoop De Doo and like doing all that stuff, you really shouldn't. It's like driving a car, right? You got to be careful. You shouldn't be like drinking and driving a golf cart. So you're basically agreeing you're going to be responsible, and then boom, then you're just free to go, and then you just have fun for the week, man. It is so cool.
Now, I didn't ask you, but I mean, I hope you did, and I'm sure you did. I mean, because you know how to do it all correctly. I mean, did you take time to get on the cart and just go and enjoy the loops and see the decorations? I mean, that's why you're there, right? I mean, I hope you didn't have to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
that's exactly why you're there.
Thanksgiving night was one of the best ones because I didn't realize how many people like hooked up like big screen TVs to their RVs, Mike. So we're just like
That
we're
is so
driving.
good. Like, it sounds like a retirement plan at this
I
point.
know,
It
right? It's
almost
so
feels
amazing.
like I'm totally changing my perspective on life at this point.
So on Thanksgiving, we had Diamond Horseshoe. We're at Magic Kingdom. That was Liz's birthday too, and then we had Yachtsman that night. So we had this in between time, right, in between the two meals, and like the Lions game was over, so it was like the Cowboys game was happening. So we're like, let's just drive through. It's starting to get dark outside. Let's just drive through the campsites. And yeah, so many TVs, like with the football games going on. We went through one area because you could just pitch a tent in some of these sections too.
Yeah.
Like you don't need the RV. So we went through like a tent. I call them neighborhoods. I don't know what they're actually called, but we went through like a tent neighborhood. Like I don't know if your neighborhood back in the day would have like block parties, but that's what it felt like. Everyone was just like walking in the street and like sharing food with each other, throwing the football around. Like
It's
it was,
so cool. Like, I
it was
always want to
cool.
be there now. That is awesome.
Yeah, it was so cool. Like you're like just driving in your golf cart, like, hey, excuse me, I'm trying to get through here, but I'm gonna go slow because I'm admiring all your guys' setups. Like I saw so many like Thanksgiving themed like blow up decorations, like Mickey as a scarecrow or a pilgrim or whatever, you know, and all this. And then obviously everyone's starting to decorate for Christmas too. So just unbelievable setups, Mike. Like I didn't know like how so many like blow up decorations existed that were Disney themed. Like I mean, any IP of Disney, any movie that we basically saw a decoration for that was themed to like Christmas in some way. It was just unbelievable. Like, and we just didn't do it that night. I mean, we did it every day, right? Like, you got the golf cart, you got to drive around and see all the decorations.
So I mean, you're obviously pretty sold on it. What was Emily and Elizabeth's like feel like on the debrief when you guys maybe on the plane ride home?
Oh my God, they just loved it. They just loved it. Emily loved being able to drive the golf cart as a licensed driver. You know, she was able to, and Liz kind of gets like a little motion sickness. I know you kind of feel that same way too, Mike, like on certain rides. So she likes to face forward, basically. So that's another thing to know. So we got a 4-seater golf cart. They do a 6-seater as well. So it'd be like two facing, like 4 seats facing forward and then 2 facing backwards. We had a 4 because we didn't need more than that. So I tended to be the guy like facing backwards because Liz couldn't sit backwards, and I wanted Emily to have the opportunity to have fun. It's her vacation, it's her senior year, and she just loved driving the golf cart. So I faced backwards a lot, which was also kind of fun too, because like you're still seeing all the same stuff, just a different perspective.
You're probably filming and all kinds of stuff.
I was filming. I was doing a lot of filming.
You're like a camera guy. I know exactly what you're doing.
Here's a tip though. So I was actually doing a live once. It was after Hoop-de-Doo. Emily was driving. I was actually in the front this time. This is one of the rare times Liz was in the back. And it was dark leaving Hoop-de-Doo. And we thought the lights were on because it gets very dark in the campgrounds. And the cast member like kind of pulls us over, like comes up to us. So I ended the live because I was like, oh boy, what do we do? You know. But apparently our headlights weren't on all the way. So like that's a pro tip, man. Just remember to like because there's like running daylights, kind of like a car, right? But like there is like a knob you got to press to turn on the lights. I thought Emily did it, but apparently she didn't. But just make sure you got those lights on because like it gets very dark and it's for your safety and the safety of others too. But
so there are like Fort Wilderness
cast members like patrolling kind of, yeah. Like I don't know if she was coming from some other section from another job and she just noticed it, but yeah, so they did like they help us out to make sure that the lights were on.
Okay. So again, we'll keep this focused on the fort because otherwise, because I do want to ask you about candlelight and everything else, but I mean, this is
I know I'm just gonna spend 45 minutes
talking
talking
about
about
we talk about this stuff, dude. We'll go for 4 hours. I mean, that's how it is because I love this stuff. I just can't because I can just picture how awesome. I mean, just like I love the communal feel of something like this. That just because I've run through here and seen the decorations and like the Madden cruisers, and I'm so intrigued, but I've never stayed there. Now
let me tell you something because I'm like you, right? Because I would pass through there, right? And like you would park your car, you take the internal bus, and you would see things on the internal bus as you get to Pioneer Hall. And one thing I have never seen, we've gotten questions like listener questions on this is about the pool. I know nothing about this pool.
Right.
I've never seen it before because like you really only can get there by foot or by golf cart. So on Thanksgiving, we went to like the pool area and oh my gosh, it's like this massive complex, Mike. They have lights like on the tennis courts, but they're not tennis court. I mean, there is a tennis court, but so many people were playing pickleball. And it was unbelievable. Like I felt like I was like at a pickleball like tournament or something, you know. It's Thanksgiving and you got like so much buzz around it, you know, like people are laughing and hitting the ball around. And like anytime we drove by that area, you always saw people playing pickleball. It just cracked me up. And then you got like the basketball courts and all that. And then there's like fishing going on there too. Like I was like, oh my God, I did not know this existed at the fort. And there's another gift shop over there too that's even bigger than the one by Pioneer Hall. So we just loved exploring, finding all these new areas that you never would see if you're just passing through for like Hoop-de-Doo or something.
Well, so I was going to ask you about that because I was going to say that gift shop that's across from Pioneer Hall one of the most underrated gift shops at Walt
Right.
Disney. I love that. It's got the Outpost, I think it's called.
I
Maybe
think so. Yeah.
something like that. They have some great merchandise because it is very specific to Fort Wilderness, and I haven't stayed there, but dude, I'm intrigued by it because it just feels very classic Walt Disney World in the way it looks and how it, Chippendale kind of merchandise. Did you
I need
guys?
to introduce you to this other one because you'll be even more blown away by it.
Well, where is it? Where are we talking? Like in the campground itself?
I
Like,
don't want to say like it's in the center of the campground. It's by the pool area,
okay,
basically. And it's like this
it seems pretty
mercantile. So
basic, though, right? It's more like a big rectangle. I mean, it's not
yes,
anything
and it's
right here.
kind of close to where they do the campfire, which is what I was going to talk about next too. Because like there's the Chippendale campfire that they do like every night, which is so cool. But a funny story about that gift shop. So we're just having a good time, and I'm walking in there, and I ask him, there's a checkers board like right in the middle, and I asked Emily, hey, do you want to play some checkers? Don't think she heard me. And then this little girl, maybe like 2 or 3, just like walks up and takes a seat. So then I just played checkers with
I
her.
knew, I knew, I
We
knew.
just sat there, and like her dad was kind of helping her because she didn't really understand the game. I don't think she spoke English either, so he was kind of helping. But like her and I just sat there for like 4 to 5 minutes just playing checkers, like in the middle of the gift shop on Thanksgiving. Like
That is
I love
awesome.
that stuff, don't you? Isn't that the
It is.
best?
This is. I mean, and again, here's the thing: we've talked for 40 minutes about just a small part of your trip. Haven't talked about a theme park. Haven't talked about really a restaurant. But I mean, this is the good stuff. But again, you can't do this on your first trip. This is not going to be something for your first trip. But this is the good stuff that you get on a subsequent trip.
Yeah.
So
I always talk about like it gives me like a Disney, it like renews my love for Disney basically. Like
absolutely, because you can't go 100 miles an hour with your hair on fire every trip. You will
right.
get burned out.
And I love being in the theme parks, right? Don't get me, I love the theme parks. But we said this on the live the other day. It's like sometimes when you're in the theme parks, you're like, oh man, I kind of wish I was back at the resort, And you're right. Like if we lived this style on our first or second trips, like I may not have found the value in Disney, but we fell in love with the theme parks first. Now we're resort people. And I just love slowing down and having those moments with my family or even like other people's family members playing the checkers. I'll never forget that. That was just so much fun. Like introducing this young girl like to how to play checkers on Thanksgiving. Like, oh man, it's just I love that stuff. But yeah, definitely not first trip stuff, or else you might not come back if that was what you did on your first trip.
Absolutely. So one other thing you did over at the fort was you did hoop-de-doo again for second or third time, right?
This is our third time.
Yep. Third time. And I've done it a few times too. And I love this. I mean, not because it's just got it's very homey. It's one of the original things from Walt Disney World back in the 70s. It's dinner and a show, but it's my food. I mean, it's just like chicken and strawberry shortcake and unlimited
ribs.
Exactly. I mean, it's not fancy, but it's good. And it's just, and it gives you a reason to go over to the fort. If you're not staying there, you get to just hop over on a boat from Magic Kingdom. It's kind of got it all for me. So again, we joked about this, earlier, you're sitting next to the piano. I don't know how you get that seat every time.
I've gotten 3 for 3 in getting that seat next to the piano player. And he's a hoot, man. I love talking with that guy. I had a different banjo player this time. So I've always had and if you're a regular at a Pioneer Hall, you might know who these people are because it seems to be like the same players. But I normally have the hairless, the bald banjo player. So I joked when the other guy sat down, I was like, wow, you have a lot more hair than the other guy. and
challenged.
And I feel like the role of the banjo player is to kind of be like grumpy. Like I feel like the banjo player never smiles. And like the piano player is just like a maniac. He's just like having the ball of his life, time of his life. But what was cool about this one, Mike, it was Christmas, and there was a Christmas overlay to the show, which I had no idea existed. So there's like other shows we've done, there's been like a banjo like battle that they would do on the stage, but instead like they sing Christmas songs. There's like another like interlude that they would normally do in the main show, like while the main cast is breaking or you're like focusing on eating, and they would sing another Christmas song. Like in the hall was decorated with Christmas lights and garland and a tree. I was just like, oh my God. Like, I mean, it makes sense, right? It's Disney. Like they love to like go all in on the holidays, but that just blew me away. Like, oh my God, I never thought of the fact that there would be a Christmas overlay for Hoop-de-Doo. So it felt kind of new and different in a way. So it was like a different experience for us. Absolutely loved it.
And that's the thing, like we always lament, right? Like Country Bears used to have the holiday overlay for their show, and it's been long gone for 10 plus years. But hey, Hoop-de-Doo.
Never thought about that. I wonder if the Luau had like a holiday overlay back in the day, but only did that once. And you were with.
I like that show. I did 3 or 4
I
times.
know
I
you
like
did.
I mean,
Yeah, so we did Hoop-de-Doo. Like Beth got to go for the first time. She needs to go again to see the regular show too. I mean, both were just fantastic. Um, one little tip with that too. So, because you have to prepay
yep.
for Hoop-de-Doo, and they do an annual pass discount. I think a lot of people forget because you paid for it like 30, 45, 60 days in advance. But
But
once you get your ticket, you got to go over to a little hut next to Pioneer Hall
yep.
and tell them, hey, like I have an annual pass, and they'll refund you whatever the 10% is. But you have to kind of like take action on it. They're just not going to do it automatically.
Oh, so you use Beth's annual pass?
I did use Beth's annual pass.
I was going to ask because that was one thing that this trip was kind of, I know that you probably had a little mental distress throughout the entire trip because you were in this situation that I'm in actually right now too, where when I go down for marathon weekend and we have a Magic Your Way ticket, which I'll probably upgrade to an annual pass during the trip because I'm in between right now.
It's weird when you're in between. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to decide how much am I going to
especially on a trip like at the fort, because like I'm paying X amount of dollars for this Magic Your Way ticket with Park Hopper. You feel like I got to be in the parks.
Yep.
But we force ourselves to slow down. And we're like, remember, like, and again, like once you hit like 5 days, I think it is, Mike. Like it's not that much more extra to add on a couple days. So that's why I kept telling myself, like,
they know, they front load those tickets.
Yeah, we're like, you know what? Like, we don't have to like force ourselves to go to Animal Kingdom right now or whatever. Let's just enjoy our time here in the fort, and like that's what we tried to do. Another big thing on the fort, I think it's just gonna be a fort episode at this point.
But I mean, this is a great primer for anybody that's thinking about going to the fort. I mean, this is golden. I mean, this is exactly what you need to hear.
But I talked about the camp with Chippendale. Like that was so much fun. So I think they did like an extra special thing on Thanksgiving because they did like a sing along. No, I didn't know they normally do the sing along. It was charades. They're doing charades with Chippendale. So they would like have guests come out and they would like act out like a Disney character. Me and Emily did one. We did Mike and Sully from Monsters Inc. I was trying to be scary and Emily like covered her eye like with one eye. It was kind of fun. So that was fun. Like Chippendale are just on stage, you're like doing charades with them, and there's families trying to guess. It was just a great time. And then they would like transition over to the like the s'mores. And so I didn't know like how this was going to be set up, but there's like a little food truck station right there at this little area, and you can just buy like a s'mores kit. So we bought a bunch of marshmallows, graham cracker, and like the chocolates, and we just made s'mores. Now I think Chippendale comes back out for that. We had a Yachtsman reservation the night we were going to do it, so we didn't stick around for Chippendale to do it. But like they'll come out and have fun with you. They'll do the sing along, and I'm telling you, that has to be probably one of the best spots for like movies under the stars because it has like benches and bleacher seating. Like you don't have to like. I mean, I know on the beach is kind of cool. Like if you can find like a good lawn chair sometimes, but like it has like elevated like seating with this like massive screen, like it's permanently kind of like set up there. So another great. That was just a great spot, like you just had all that right there in the fort.
So, because we got to kind of wrap this up, but I mean, it is kind of a primer on the fort is basically what this show turned into. We'll talk about again, like I said, all your good meals you had, all the times in the parks and candlelight and all the special stuff you did, the Christmas party. Next week we'll talk about the treasure, but maybe in a couple weeks here is right before Christmas.
Yeah.
But this is invaluable because we have not, because you got to stay in a new cabin and all this great experience, but as we wrap this up, I think too, is I'm trying to think about like what made this really great. And I think also time of year, right? Maybe in July, like when it's super hot and humid, you might not be as incentivized to like be out as much. You know what I'm saying? Like, was the weather great for this? I mean, how was the weather?
My family talked about this. I even said like if because Be Our Guest podcast is a lot of cruises right in the summer, or like I know we go a lot for 4th of July, our families. I was like, we all agreed like this would not be a summer place for us. It's got to be like a winter time, fall time, like we did, and the weather was perfect, Mike. Oh my god, like
seems like it gets you in the spirit, right? Too with all the decorations,
and it would get cold. So that's another tip for the golf cart too. Like you could tell like who the professionals were, like who the regulars were there because they would have their blankets like in the cart. Like we didn't pack any blankets, but at night that would have been nice to have a blanket because I mean, I think our top speed, because they had like a speedometer at one of the neighborhoods, was like 14 miles per hour. But like open air, like with a breeze at 14 miles per hour, can get a little chilly, So Liz like always wanted the windshield up. I didn't. I like just having like that airflow come in. But that was one thing I didn't talk about either, was the decorating of the golf carts. like we talked about like people's decorations in their cabins, but the decorating the golf carts was so awesome. So we went with like garland all the way around, and we were at Publix buying our groceries. Me and Emily saw this balloon that was like this like bear with like a candy cane in his mouth or whatever. Like this could be kind of fun to like. I don't know how we'll do it, but this would be fun for the golf cart. But yeah, but we figured it out. We just we taped it, like we just put a lot of tape around the string, like on the inside, and boom, that baby like was just hanging out all week. Now when it got in the shade, it kind of deflated a little bit. I'll tell you, the sun just like perked that thing up, and then he'd come right back to life. But that is also a key helpful identifier, because it's helped us like notify our cart, like back in the day with the stroller, right?
Exactly, just stroller.
If you had that balloon on the stroller, that helped you, and having the balloon on the golf cart helped us a lot too. But yeah, I mean, that is more like a fall, wintertime resort for sure. You want the weather to be cooler, and it just feels more homey that way. Like you don't want to be in the fort in 100 degrees. I can't speak to how it would be, but I think it would feel a little hot, kind of buggy, you know, like in the woods and all that. But it was just, we lucked out, Mike. It was just the perfect time of year. And I'm trying to think, how am I going to get back there in the fall again? Because we have to redo this trip. It was so good.
Dude, I'm so sold on this, but you did make one mistake, man. We talked about this Sunday night. You didn't get over to Wilderness Lodge to see the tree.
I know. Well, house was right next door, and I did not make my way over.
Okay, so
much fun at the fort.
I know that is a good sign, though. I mean, like you're having so much fun you couldn't leave. Okay, so we're wrapping because we're way over time. Because again, like we do this, we could talk for 5 hours about this stuff. That's how we do. But final tip, though, for anybody that's thinking of the fort, it's kind of like me, right? I mean, like I've never stayed there. I've stayed at practically everywhere else at Walt Disney World. Maybe somebody's like, God, it's so different, man. It doesn't have a food court. It's like I'm going to be in the middle of the woods. Bigfoot's going to come get me when I go for my morning coffee. Like, you know, a bear might get me.
Just book the trip. I was in the same boat. Like, that's why it's our last resort, right? This is the last one we booked because I felt the same way, right? Thought it was going to be weird. Like, is it campy? I'm not a camp person, but if you book the cabin, you're just going to have the best time of your life. And my advice would be, if you got a rental car, or you can do like a grocery delivery, I think having some groceries is nice. Like using just making the cinnamon rolls. Like that one morning was so great, and like making the bacon. So, and you're going to smell it too. Everyone's going to be making stuff. You don't want to be that one person left out, but you got the great like trails then too, that you can go to mobile order and pick it up with your golf cart. But I think that's important. And as much as we all love the theme parks, just take a couple of days off in the theme parks, really enjoy the fort. I think that's going to make you appreciate the resort for what it is more, and just soak up of that environment, because there's plenty to do. Pack some board games, play some games with your family on the deck and all that. It's just a really nice family bonding trip, and I can't recommend it enough.
All right, Scotty G, great trip report for the fort. We'll get into the rest of the stuff here in the weeks to come, but man, I'm sold on the fort, man. You got me excited for it. Got to get down.
Do it. But I'm saying for your birthday next year, we're booking it. And
well, I mean, yeah, because opportunity is going to open up here as Mallory goes off to school. I mean, we're going to be able to travel different times and differently, right. So it's opportunities will be coming up. And hey, by the way, I'll have a churro Mickey waffle in your honor today.
Please do. I'm so jealous.
You know, pictures coming your way.
I'm probably starving right now the second you send it to me too.
What we do. All right. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure. Just swing by the website today over at themagicforless.com. No additional cost to you. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That really helps us out during this busy holiday season. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us on the air. We appreciate you so very much. You can support us as well. Just $5 a month. And you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Come on over this week. It's patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on the social media. Scott, if you want to check out all his coverage, is at Epscott, EPSCOT on all the places. And of course, Must See Adventures on YouTube, where he's going to get some of this stuff that he filmed during this trip very soon. But he's got to get back from Europe from his cruise. He's still on the cruise from this past summer, but he's almost back. He's got 3 shows left, I think.
Almost back.
Right? You're almost there? You're close.
We're almost there. I mean, I'm busy winning game shows on Anthem of the Seas, but trust me, we're almost back, and then we'll have some more visuals.
Right? You're Spain. I mean, I think
I'm in Spain right now.
Maybe. Yeah. So check it out. Must See Adventures. Subscribe, like, all that, ding the bell, all that stuff this weekend. All right. So I'm at Be Our Guest Mike, and you need to be following me, especially on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads, because I'm coming to you live from the Disney Treasure today, tomorrow from Castaway Key, just long enough to go to Cookies and see how
You
barren.
might have the whole island to yourself.
Exactly. I don't think many people are going to be getting off that ship tomorrow because it's a 3-nighter and everybody wants to see the ship. So I just want to see how empty Castaway Key is going to be tomorrow. And I do want to go get cookies because that's my jam. I love cookies. But follow me, and we'll be doing all the stuff at Be Our Guest Mike, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads, and of course Facebook as well, the Be Our Guest podcast. And then Monday, as we record, Ben Lappin's going to come with me. He's sailing with me in my stateroom. We're going to have a good time covering all the stuff. He's really good with the socials, and he'll be giving his thoughts on the treasure as well. So come with us Monday, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central, as we record the shows all about the treasure. Ricky and Scott will be here too. We'll be answering questions and all that good stuff. And who knows? We'll be talking about the Periscope pub. I'm trying to, because
You're going to be an expert this time.
I know. I'll know all the names of the places, the Haunted Mansion bar and all that. So I'll tell you what the drinks taste like and all that stuff. I guess we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited. All right. So we'll have no live call-in show this Sunday night because I'll be just getting back into St. Louis late Sunday night, but we'll have a call-in show a week from Sunday night. So join us for that. All right. We'll be back together again on Monday with a great trip report. So until then, you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Save that one real quick. Oh God, I must hit close all. No, save as. Jeez, what am I thinking?
That was a lot of Fort talk. I mean, it was
so funny.
We had a lot to say about it.
I know, because like if we had to try to spread it out, it would have been.
Oh my God, it would have been like 3-hour show.
Yeah. Let's see. MP3 44.1. Oh wait. Hang on. Episode 2607.
Which cookie should I have for this next episode?
Hang on a second. Wait, what episode was this? 2607.
I normally write it down and I didn't this time.
No, it's all right. It just says there's already a show with that number. I probably misnumbered my shows. Hang on. I'll just put a 2 in it. It's because they get all out of whack because I'm recorded ahead on the Monday shows and I'm not doing a Sunday night show in between there. So I probably misnumbered.
Yeah.
At some point with my file names. Boom. There's Ricky. Hey, Ricky. Oh, you're muted. I don't know if I can mute you.
No, I got it. Sorry. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hello, Ricky.
Right. So we saved the listener questions for you because you're the smart one and has.
Am I the smart one? Okay, well, there's that. Thanks for thinking I'm smart.
High expectations.
You write the blog. Like she writes the blog, so we.
It is definitely high expectations. Yeah, Brian had trouble getting out of traffic today. Atlanta when it rains and.
I've always heard
traffic.
I've seen it. Like when I used to drive through there, like 2 a.m, there'd be traffic.
Yeah, well, it's raining, so it makes it worse. Yeah. Yeah, it's raining, so it makes it worse. So, yay. Yeah.
At least it's not snowing. Hello to Cindy Lou 75 on Instagram. She says she's never seen us live and she likes.
Hey, well, we're here now.
Behind the scenes, I'm having a Coke Zero.
We're here.
Hello.
We're here.
And I'm debating, do I eat this peppermint sugar cookie or the gingerbread one?
Oh, I have I still have all my cookies from the Epcot cookie stroll. And yes, I do have one of the tins, the containers.
Oh, the containers are awesome. Yeah.
Yes. Brian and we went there the first day and Brian's like, I had actually mentioned to Brian before we got to the park. I was like, well, we stop off at my brother's because we stopped to see him for a minute. I said, I need to steal some Tupperware from him so that I can take the cookies home. And when I got to the park, I was like, oh, dang, you know what we forgot to do? I forgot to steal Tupperware from him. So when we walked into Communicore Hall, there was this giant wall of the cookie containers. And he immediately went over to the wall, picked it up, and was like, we're buying this. And I was like, yep, we sure are.
Problem solved. See, look at that. Problem solver.
I did not do the cookie stroll this time.
It was good this year. I enjoyed it. So, yeah.
The cookie, Ricky, is it good?
Huh?
Did you
Well, she doesn't like the black and white cookie.
I don't like the black and white cookie.
That Sunday night. I've never even heard of a black and white cookie.
I did not get that one. I was highly disappointed though, because the Linzer cookie and the Bavaria Pavilion was supposed to be Nutella, which I was very excited about, and it ended up being raspberry, which I hate. So I was very disappointed. You can actually, in the video that I made, which is on Disney World After All's Instagram and TikTok, you can actually see the disappointment in my face. Like I'm just like, cool.
Is Linzer like a Pittsburgh thing? Because they call each other Linzers, right, or something?
Yins is what they do.
Yins.
Isn't Linzer like a thing there too? No,
I don't think so.
No, I think it's something else.
Yeah,
I think you are.
I think you are. Yeah.
I don't know. By the way, did you hear me? Cindy Lou over on Instagram says you look pretty tonight.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Scott does look pretty. Yeah,
Scott does.
I like the hat.
Thank you.
Yeah, I saw those being sold too. So
had to get this bucket hat.
Yes, exactly.
I almost sent you a video, Mike, of this guy playing that like on the acoustic guitar, like, and it was
Nice.
amazing. I'll see if I can find it
That's
again.
amazing.
That's what we do.
Because like for like the long like holding of the notes, he would like tune the guitar, so it was like, so good.
That's good. That's good.
Oh Lordy. Okay, so we need listener questions, people. We're not just sitting here to,
Look
Look
pretty.
good.
exactly. I mean, we are, but that's what we're doing.
I should have worn my hat. Dang.
That's why it's a video podcast now.
I can go grab some ears real quick.
If you want to, but I'm starving for Taco Bell.
Oh my God, of course you are.
I am, dude. Like, I'm hungry.
Here, I can,
They're in the other room. Hang on. Let me go grab them. Yeah, they're in the other room. Hold on.
God, here we go. Okay, now the dog's gonna be barking. See, now, Cindy, see what you started? Cindy gives a compliment. Actually, this hat usually gives me a wicked headache because it's too tight, but I got it on just right. Actually,
You'll like this. Dude, you should get one of these.
I might have to. Was it?
Because like it's big, it's wide, like it doesn't hurt.
I feel like it's a baller hat. It's probably everywhere, right?
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. You'll find that.
They're everywhere.
I love it. Like Emily, like kind of bought it as a joke, and then
because I'll wear it on the ship because I'll get it.
It's so great.
Yeah,
just don't wear it on deck. Don't let it wear it Friday the 13th and have it fly off.
Well, because that thing's got like where the wind would catch that thing for sure.
Yeah, I was wearing it like on the Fort Wilderness boat coming back from the party.
Oh yeah,
and it was like, woo! I was like, oh.
I'm just saying, dude, that thing would take flight.
It was like standing room only on the boat, man.
Is it green on the inside?
I got my ears.
It's green.
What? Oh yeah,
green on the inside. Oh, dude.
Oh, that's cute.
Emily actually went inside out with it once.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it reversible?
It looks reversible. Yeah, look at that. Except we got a tag.
Yeah, it doesn't fit as well either, but now I probably messed the ears up, but that's fine.
Yeah, you gotta have it. That'd be annoying too, inside out. We don't have a whole lot of questions in the inbox, so we do need questions here in the chat.
Long answers.
Questions. Yeah, we gotta give long answers in this talk.
I'm pretty good.
Got a question. Cindy Lou's got a question. All right. Cindy Lou, this is a classic hat. It is old. This hat's probably at least 10 years old. It might be Pam mailed these out to us like ages ago.
Oh, those hats? Yeah,
I have one of yours too. It's our
actually they're up on my bookshelf, like right across from me. Yeah, those hats. So I haven't worn these yet. These are cute. They're from like last year.
I love banning people.
I think they're from last year.
That's gonna be ready. Inappropriate.
I'm ready.
Here we go. This hat is hot though. These hats are so thick. Holy smokes.
Dude, yeah. They get a little toasty.
No joke. Okay, here we go. Like Santa himself wears these hats. All right, so 2605. I guess these are gonna be so out of whack, but I think that's what it is. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2605 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you are having a great week. I am super excited because it is time for your listener questions, and I get to hang out with two of my very best friends to answer your listener questions. We're going to have a good time today talking Disney, talking Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, and doing it in Santa Disney hats. And, well, Rikki's got on her
Ears.
Ears. I can't tell exactly what's on the ears there. It's a video podcast, but most people listen to audio.
There's snow.
Snow. There you go. See, now, again, you can always check. We're a YouTube thing too. So youtube.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. I paid $7 for the overlay to get Christmas lights and snowflakes for your holiday enjoyment, for your Christmas enjoyment. So come on over and check us out on YouTube. But I know most of you guys are listening as you walk the dog or walk the treadmill. Whatever, we just enjoy you being here with us. And today, answering your list of questions. So if you're tuned in live, drop a question in the comments. We need those for the show. But without further ado, oh, by the way, I mean, should I rub it in? Yes, I'm at Animal Kingdom Lodge today. It's awesome. Maybe I'll see Kim Taylor. Maybe she'll take my picture in front of that great tree as I make my way back to the Mara to grab some zebra domes and maybe go over to Boma tonight. And no, I'm not going to Boma. It's too expensive. And, I got to save room for the cruise. That's, can't fill up the gullet too much too soon. Got to pace yourself. So anyway, we're going to be answering those questions. Scotty G sitting in the Pam Forrester seat today, up in East Lansing, looking great in the hat he got at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party a couple weeks back. Scott, what's going on? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, Mike. Happy travel day to you. And I know she doesn't listen, but happy anniversary to my beautiful wife, Elizabeth. Today is our anniversary.
Hey, happy anniversary.
And I think it's our friend Stacy Bear's birthday too. Just
nice.
So I'm just shouting out everybody.
Keep it going.
It's a good day.
The sexy sax just roll the whole show.
Right. Exactly. So yes, happy anniversary, Elizabeth. She's like, as we all know, our significant others play an important role in the podcast because they're doing things behind the scenes so that we can record and share great content for everybody. Right.
This is very true.
Yeah. Every time somebody comes to the front door, there's like, Riley, don't stop barking.
I know
pretty much it. Yeah. Around here. No, they do way more than that. They put Pam actually was the genesis of the Be Our Guest podcast. She's like, would you stop talking Disney to me? Like, why don't you just go downstairs and talking to a mic? This was in like probably February of 2008. Like, can't you find some other venue to talk Disney? Like, I love Disney, but you talk about it too much. Can't you can you record yourself or something? I'm like, yeah, there's this thing called you should start a podcast. Yeah, that's a good idea. Find some other people to talk. And boom, we started a show 17 years
later.
Yeah.
It's a miracle. There's other people like us. That's the funny thing. There's a bunch of us. There's tens of thousands of us out there. We all get along great. Anyway, also another person who's just like this and who, crazy enough, lived in my hometown same time.
Sure did.
Rikki, she's from DisneyWorldAfterAll.com. I mean, we've been around so long. That site was awesome and it died and it's come back to its second life. And we got the mouseforless.com, or Mouse for Less has been around for, I can't remember what it is. The mouseforless.com. It's been around forever. It's
like 25 years, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's been way longer than us.
Yes.
Rikki, happy Wednesday. It's one of those days I'm traveling to Walt Disney World. I don't care. I'm having fun. When you're on vacation, you know what I'm saying? Like that week, it's like I'm kind of mailing this one in because I'm excited.
That's true. Yeah, no, happy Wednesday. I would like to give a huge shout out to Brian, who is out with Lucy right now so that I can podcast. So yay, thanks, Brian. He makes it happen so that I can be here most times. So, unless there's traffic in Atlanta, which you'll find out is why he was not here for the Friday show. But anyway, everything is good. And I just want to give a reminder that the holiday ornament exchange and holiday cards is now closed. But if you are sending out holiday cards or ornaments, there is actually a thread in the Facebook page. It's actually pinned to the top so you can see both of them. But when you send out your cards and receive cards, if you could mention that you've gotten them or whatever and who they're from. And also when you send out your ornaments and then when you receive your ornament, if you could mention there as well. That kind of the cool thing about the ornament exchange is that it's secret until you get the ornament, or at least, that we try to keep it that way. But a lot of times if you're like me, where you just send the ornament to the person and then you realize, oh no, I didn't put like my name on it. At least
here because I get mine on Shop Disney.
Yeah, exactly. So it at least allows somebody to go, hey, I got this ornament. Who gave it to me? And then you can actually say, oh, that was me, because I couldn't put your name on it or my name on it. So Merry Christmas. So anyway, make sure that when you get your ornaments, that you do go post in the Facebook thread, so that way we know that you got your ornament and that everything is all good and everything like that. So yeah, I definitely sent mine out today and did not put a name on it. So whoops.
I set a record this year. I sent mine out within 10 minutes of Michelle giving me my person's name.
Nice.
Because I was scared I was going to forget when I was on the cruise. Like I got paranoid. Like I was like, I can do this right now. I'll forget. And I'll be
man, you could have bought them like a sick ornament though.
Could have.
It would have been past the deadline. It was like past. It was after the date. That I thought about that.
I think somebody would have gotten. I think they would have been like, "Oh, okay, this came from the treasure." I think.
Yeah. I mean, I won't be shipping mine out till next week because I got to go.
I got paranoid that I missed the. I got paranoid that I missed the deadline or something.
You would have, but I think your person would have understood why you missed the deadline in that regard.
Well, sorry. I almost said their name. Yeah, you almost got to. Yeah, I should have done.
That's all right, Mike. You can give me another one. You can give.
Yeah, exactly.
You're getting what was clearance. No, just kidding. Because this person's getting actually more than one ornament. They're cool. Like
awesome.
I didn't buy one for myself, but I almost did because it was that cool. Nice. Because I told my wife though I want one. But because I was like, this is really cool. So anyway, and Rikki, you just did the same thing Scott and I were talking about on Friday's show because we've recorded these out of sequence. That you just gave everybody the big reminder that, by the way, you can no longer get in on these two things. It's like getting the it's like getting the text like your room is not ready.
Not ready. Yeah,
totally zonked everybody.
But the good news is what this means is that next year, when it is time for us to do this, you will be on alert to know that, hey, we do this, and then you can sign up ahead of time. We usually have signups in November, and then the exchanges go out in December. So just look for it next year in November. Yeah,
we're giving you lots of notice.
We're giving you tons of notice this time. Yes.
Okay, breaking news though, too, real quick. Follow me on social media right now. Be Our Guest Mike, especially on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads, and the Facebook page for the Be Our Guest podcast, because I will be posting tons of information from the treasure. I'm at Animal Kingdom Lodge today, boarding the treasure first thing tomorrow morning. I got my stateroom assignment. I'm in a 5A forward starboard side deck 10. I'm right under the bridge. I mean,
nice.
Forward. That's a little different for you.
I know. It's great because it was a guaranteed stateroom until today. I found out my stateroom assignment. Well, we're recording Monday. So great. I'll check it out. I'll let you know about it. I'm right under the bridge there. So if they need any help up on the bridge, I can just hop up one deck, I think, or two decks. And
you'd be like, hey, I've watched 300 episodes of Love Boat. I can help.
I got this. Yeah.
I got bring my hat in case they need me.
No.
Hat and just
I don't think they're gonna need that.
I've got a gopher costume I could put on, from like the 70s, the shorts, the white top. I'd be ready to go. The tall socks and everything be right there, looking like Captain Gavin McLeod. But here's the thing. So follow me. We'll be all over the ship for the next 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, get back into Port Canaveral Sunday. So please do follow me at Be Our Guest Mike. Also, I don't know if you saw this, but is the time recording. This is breaking news. Disney Plus has been added to the Walt Disney World Resort hotels.
It has.
About time, right? Did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, how long did that? It only took like 5 years. That's crazy.
Yep.
I mean,
sure did.
Isn't that crazy that was not added before today or like this week?
That's true. I mean,
like when I saw that, I'm like, how did it take 5 or how many years for that to happen? Like,
that's true.
No brainer.
Right.
It's the easiest advertisement for people to go back home and subscribe.
Exactly.
Like some things are just so like that's exactly.
It makes so much sense that
why would you not do that?
Or like, hey, we saw you stayed at Saratoga Springs and watched this. Would you like to sign up for our 3-month free trial? And then boom, someone signs up, and then 3 years later they're still subscribed. I mean,
exactly.
It's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great that they're doing this, but like, who did not do this on day one?
Right.
It's one of those things. Okay. Cindy Lou was tuned in over on Instagram. Shout out to Cindy Lou, one of our folks who hangs out with us all the time over in the clubhouse. Again, join us at beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. We'll be posting photos and videos over there too. She has a question, and she says, next year she's looking to go into Walt Disney World, and she's asking just basically French Quarter or Caribbean Beach. So pluses and minuses of those two resorts. First thing I would just throw in, because we're not going to spend a ton of time on this one, but French Quarter, Caribbean Beach, moderate resorts, both. I'm going to go French Quarter, smallest resort, Caribbean Beach, biggest. So if you're looking for quaint, one bus stop, French Quarter, biggest resort with lots of different you got different villages. They call them at Caribbean Beach. You got Aruba, Jamaica, Mozambique.
Martinique.
Martinique. I'm like, dude, that's not it. Trinidad and Tobago. So you got different areas of the resort. You have different little small like quiet pools. You got the big pirate feature pool. Of course, the big thing is the Skyliner at Caribbean Beach. So quiet, small Port Orleans, French Quarter, kind of more massive multi-bus stops, Skyliner, Caribbean Beach. So I'm not going to go one way or the other, but that's kind of 1A, kind of your first thing to think about. Scott, what would you say between the two?
French Quarter all the way for me. I just love the vibe there, the background loops. It's small, it's beautiful at night, and Caribbean Beach is all this stuff too. And Caribbean Beach is like I consider it like what made me fall in love with Walt Disney World, because it's where we stayed on our first trip. But I just really love the energy and the vibe at French Quarter, so that's my short answer.
Beignets too.
Beignets. Both the Disney Springs. That Sassagoula River is gorgeous.
Yes, I mean basically they're donuts. Rikki, what do you got?
Did they specify that they wanted to stay at French Quarter, or was it?
She said, next year, should I stay at Port Orleans, French Quarter, or Caribbean Beach?
She did. Okay, I didn't hear the French Quarter part, so I was like, wait, are we sure that it was French Quarter? Because I wanted to make sure. Yeah, I think I would. It just depends on the kind of like vacation that you want. Obviously, French Quarter is going to be a little more kind of regal feeling, I feel like. Not that that's that's not a bad thing. It's just I feel like it's a little more regal, and of course Caribbean Beach is going to be a little more laid back because it's that beachy vibe to it. So it kind of depends on which kind of vibe you're looking for your vacation. Most people generally, when they think obviously of Florida, they're thinking of Caribbean Beach, palm trees and things like that, hammocks. So that might be the vibe that you're looking for. But I do agree that Port Orleans is a fantastic resort. The theming there is just over the top, just fantastic. It's so well done. And like you said, it's smaller. It's got the beignets. It's got the transportation via the to Disney Springs, which is great too. And it's a quaint, quiet kind of resort. So it really depends on the vibe that you're going for your vacation, I feel like, in that regard. If I had to pick one, I think I'd probably choose Caribbean Beach, but I really could toss a coin on this one. I feel like, again, it just depends on the vibe that you're looking for, but I'm more of a beachy kind of girl, so I tend to vibe more with the Caribbean Beach side of things.
Yeah, I go back and forth. The Skyliner is a game changer for going to the park if you're focusing on Epcot and the studios, but man, French Quarter at night is just awesome. It's probably the best theme. Like, to me, I love the theme of French Quarter.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the Skyliner.
Night.
So
the Skyliner
is huge. Yeah.
One bus stop is nice. I mean, you're super. You can't go wrong either way. Just look at the pictures and see, if you're gonna be.
It's the rooms for me though. Like, I want those Caribbean Beach rooms to be refurbished.
I
know they're gonna be working on it, but like, those rooms are pretty dated in my opinion. So I would. Once those get refurbished, then that's going to be like a big difference. I'm going to be changing my answer a lot, but
probably
for now it's French Quarter.
All right, here's a question, Scott, because you were just there for Jennifer Retzlaff over on Instagram. Happy holidays, everyone. We have a dining package for Candlelight Processional on the 26th, the 6:45 performance. When would you plan to line up? Because I saw you had a comment about that during your trip.
So it will say 15 minutes on your ticket.
Something about this I saw it in socials.
On your ticket, it's going to say line up 15 minutes before, which will be 6:30. But as everybody does at Disney, for whatever reason, they decide they have to line up an hour early.
Right.
So I ended up lining up like 45 to an hour before 40. I think it was about 45 minutes before my show. Is when I started lining it up. I mean, you're guaranteed to get in. It just depends on where you're going to be, like in the theater. So for a 6:45 show, I would say probably around 6, maybe like 5:50 is when I start lining up. Rikki, if you want to be like super close.
Did you do it?
I did not do it. And actually we were gonna walk past it, and then we ate dinner at Cape May, which was a surprise reservation that we got to celebrate Brian's birthday. And we were so full by the time we left there that we completely forgot that we were going to go like walk by Candlelight. So we didn't even see it this trip, but we'll be back at the end of the month. So
Nice. Now, here's a not a question, but it's a comment from Rob over on YouTube. He says, "Do you guys see the Disneyland annual calendar? I wish Walt Disney World would do the same." I totally agree. This is, and I know Disneyland is focused more on locals. I mean, it's again, this is obviously really kind of giving them an incentive to, okay, look, this is kind of a season. It's it's like what Six Flags would do with like Fright Nights and I forget what they do like in September, like Harvest Fest and all that kind of stuff. But man, it kind of really lets you map out your year. And if Walt Disney World would do this, like with all their like 90s, they do those 90s events, and they do what have all the kind of special events, and they laid it out for the whole year, and you can really say, okay, well, now I want to go in April. I want to go to the Food and Wine Fest that's over at California Adventure. That's a great event. Like in March, they nailed it with that. I don't know why World couldn't do something similar.
They actually did that, I think, for the first time this year. So they laid out the whole year for Disneyland's events this year for the first time, and they repeated that for next year. I do think it's a good idea. I just wonder if there's so many like cogs working at Walt Disney World that it's maybe a little bit harder. The other thing is like you mentioned, the fact that it is a lot of like locals, annual pass holders at Disneyland. So they're probably trying to entice people to keep returning, and here's the events that you can go see, keep renewing your annual pass type situation. Mm-hmm. Whereas obviously that's not as heavy at Walt Disney World. And it's a lot more, tourists. So they don't necessarily
care as much.
They don't they don't care as much about when the events are ahead of time, that kind of thing. Rightfully or wrongfully so, whichever way you want to go on that. But it would be great to see it at a year's time frame, but I don't know that they really, heck, we can't, Scott and, I both mentioned, we didn't even get like Thanksgiving menus for Thanksgiving. And, it was Thanksgiving Day and you're like, are these places having a Thanksgiving meal? Don't know. Cause Disney didn't even say they were having a Thanksgiving meal. So, you can't even make a confirmation on something that's yearly like that. So, it's one of those weird glitchy things that happens at Walt Disney World. That would be so great if they did. But you'll get it about 6 months out, I guess. I don't know. So, for Walt Disney World, and that's kind of how they do it.
Yeah. All right. So we have shout out to Jason. It says back from a victorious trip to Dino Land games. Because
nice.
Games are going away soon. So if you want to throw a softball into a bucket, I mean, days are ticking away.
Days are definitely numbered. It's going extinct. Hey!
There you go. That's sad, but there you go. Yeah,
uses that line in a future vlog episode. Just saying, too.
that's clickbaity title right there. A headline. You got to go with that. Jennifer's got a question over. This is Jennifer Wilcox. Says, does the new Lightning Lane Premier Pass include for one-time entry to each Lightning? Let's try to read this correctly. Does the new Lightning Lane Premier Pass include for one-time entry to each Lightning Lane ride? Include character and princess photo meet and greets? It would save lots of time for kids who want to meet them. If so, does the accompanying adult need to pay for the pass too? Rikki, does it include meet and greets?
So I don't believe it does.
Neither.
Because I believe, it's kind of one of those weird things where when it was, Fast Pass Plus and stuff like that, they had that as an option, the meet and greets. But ever since they've rolled it into Lightning Lane, they really haven't added the character meet and greets as part of that whole process. Maybe like one or two, but for the most part, no, it's still, standby queue only. So to answer that question outright, no, they don't. However, I would assume that if they ever did want to add those back in, which obviously they could at any moment, yes, the accompanying adult would definitely need to pay for the, the Lightning Lane pass, if they did the Premier Pass as well in order to be able to meet the characters. So
that's kind of
everybody would have to have it. Yes.
And that's kind of where you get in that. This is like the tiered system, right? From like buying Lightning Lane to buying Lightning Lane Premier Pass, then you go VIP tour guide.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That would get you access to whatever you want.
The VIP tour guide would definitely get you access to those meet and greets. Yes. But again, that's dropping it.
We're trying to, I mean, because you got to think about it from like the Disney perspective, right? They have to have an incentive to go to the next step. And so maybe they never add the meet and greets because
possible.
say like they have and I doubt they have like I don't know, maybe they do. I doubt they have like a physical like trifold brochure, right? You know how it is. I mean, just think about it like with like the quick service dining plan, you get these things, right? But you don't get table service restaurants. And then you look at the standard dining plan, you get these things plus table service restaurants, and you get so you got to have like additions. And so the VIP, experience, the VIP tour guide experience is going to get you this and that.
Yeah.
And you get more flexibility. So possibly that's
very
what
possible.
you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a question over in the inbox from it says Livy from Wheaton, Illinois. Hey there, BOGP crew. My husband and I and our almost 2-year-old are going to Disney World for a few days, then getting on a Disney cruise. I have a few questions that maybe you can help me with. Do you have a reliable transportation from MCO to a Disney resort, going to Boardwalk Inn, that you like? Also, we have nursery time booked while we're on the ship, the Fantasy. Do you know if we can show up late to your reserved time? I understand you would probably have to pay for the entire time. I was just curious if we show up late in case we're doing something fun with our little guy. Thanks in advance, Livy. Okay, first of all, do you have a reliable transportation from MCO to a Disney resort boardwalk that you like? So getting from the airport to boardwalk. Scott, you rent a car usually, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say Scotty G's shuttle service will be there as long as our dates overlap. I'll be happy to do some airport pickups.
There you go.
Unfortunately, I haven't really used since Magical Express. I haven't used anything else other than the rental car. So
yeah,
I know there's options out there. Rikki might be able to speak to some of these, but I'm more on the rental car.
Yeah, mostly it's mirrors, that a lot of people use. It's the most popular for sure. And then of course there's Uber, that option as well, or Lyft. And a town car, getting an actual like town car where they hold your name up and you've got a sign with your name on it and they're down in the lobby.
How great would it be if like Disney offered the service that they would pick you up from the airport and take your family to a Disney resort?
It'd be monumental for sure. Magical. It would be magical. Yes. Yes.
Just express you right off to the hotel.
A really creative idea. I don't know why they don't do that.
It'd be awesome. Dude, they'd take your bags at your home airport.
That would be so fantastic.
And you could like check your bags at the resort.
Oh my God, stop.
Yeah.
Put ice on my trousers.
That would be.
Yes.
No.
That'd be too cool.
Yeah.
I can't quit listening.
Yeah, I know there's lots of other I've heard people use the mirrors, and I think that's probably going to be one of your better alternatives. Like with the 2-year-old too, like Uber could be interesting with the car seat situation.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I don't know
thinking.
if you have a car seat with you, so maybe using the mirror service might be your best bet potentially.
Yeah. You could look at also Happy Limo is some folks use that. These are who I recommend for folks who are looking to get to Port Canaveral, but they also do airport pickups to the resorts. Happy Limo, Tiffany Town Car. I've used Southern Elegance. That's who I used last time to get to the port. So those are just maybe look at those companies. Again, you just look at the reviews. I've used them successfully, but I mean, everybody could get, who knows, you get a flat tire.
Not to like, I mean, I know we're just kind of joking around there, but like, wouldn't Disney want just people to like get there safely with like with a brand that they trust? Like, you know what I mean? Like where we are like, oh, read the reviews and all that. Like the reviews of Magical Express were outstanding. So it's just, it still boggles my mind. But
again, it's the Disney Plus. There's just so many times.
But if we speak about it enough today, maybe there'll be some news. I'm just saying.
Maybe they'll bring it back. Yeah.
Dude, if that happens while I'm on the ship, that would be something, right? I'd be like waking up to Mickey Churros and Magical Express returning.
You'll have to do a live right there and talk about it.
Oh, I will. That'd be something. All right, we got a question from Bethany from the great state of.
Oh, we didn't talk about the nursery time thing, but I'm actually not sure about the nursery time. Livy has like a question for us today because
it's like, dude, quit going on to Bethany's question. You haven't answered mine.
Right, exactly.
Like, what are they going to do though? Like, I mean, I would not encourage being late, but I understand if you're in the middle of like a trivia game or whatever, or like a meal went long. But That's
Yeah.
tough. They're not gonna like not stop watching your kid in the nursery.
No, I mean,
right?
I'm assuming
I
if you
thought you meant like relate to drop your kid off. That's what
yeah,
I was
I'm assuming if you dropped your kid off late.
I doubt they boot your kid out into the hall.
Yeah, right. They can't. But you would definitely be charged the time.
Yeah, no, I thought I agree with I thought it was if you drop your kid off late, then you know, which I mean, I guess.
I heard it the other way.
You're killing me, dude. It's like, oh, dude, your parents are supposed to be here at 9 o'clock.
You gotta go.
Like, what are you supposed to like?
Here's your diaper, and here's an extra bottle. Dude, beat it. Get out.
Yep. Here's your graham crackers. Let's go. Yeah, exactly.
I totally heard that question the other way. Oops,
no, I heard
Wednesday. We're having fun.
I don't know which way it was supposed to go now because I heard it.
You can tell the two that have kids that are, getting ready to go to college.
I heard it the way of like you're dropping your kid off late of your time. And I mean, you could drop your kid off late, but yeah, you definitely would pay for the full hour. I mean, so why not drop them off on time? That's just my opinion. But yes, as was alluded to with the other way of this question, I mean, yeah, I'm sure that you can be late picking them up, but you're definitely going to get, charged for extra time. And they probably will yell at you. So just a heads up on that too. But
they might take your dropping off privileges away.
Yeah, exactly. They might take your dropping off privileges away for the next time. But
they are not going to yell at you. They would
kindly ask you to
yes, exactly.
Arrive on time in the future.
Arrive on time the next time. Yes, exactly.
They would show you the rules. They would not. Disney Cruise Line is never going to yell at you unless they
would strongly encourage you though to make sure you follow the rules the next time. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, exactly. They're not going to yell at you. All right, Bethany does have a question. She's from the great state of Alabama, by the way. So we're not going to talk about that right now because Jason's here and he's been talking about the SEC, and we can't talk about that right now. So, hey, Mike, Pam, Ricky, and Scott, longtime listener, but first-time question asker.
Oh.
I am planning a family trip for the first week of February for myself, my husband, our son. He's going to be 11 months old at the time of the trip. Our moms and my husband's aunt. We're staying in 2 rooms at Pop Century and going to the Magic Kingdom and Epcot. My husband and I are former annual pass holders who know the parks and resorts well, but this will be our son's first visit to Disney, and we're so excited to take him to the place we love the most. My question is, how do we do Disney parks with a baby? More specifically, how does rider swap work for the rides he can't go on? Any tips or tricks for navigating, parking the stroller? Oh. Thank you so much, guys. As an elementary school special ed teacher, I listen to the podcast on the way to work in the mornings, and it puts me in a positive mood to start my day. Bethany. First of all, Bethany, God bless you for being a special ed teacher because, again, former teacher, you guys are the angels who do the most work in the schools and for the kids who need it the most. So thank you for doing what you do. And just hang in there. You're almost to Christmas break. This is the most dangerous time of the year. This and right before spring break and right before summer vacation. You're going to make it, but I know you're pulling your hair out right now. So just hang in there. You've almost made it, and Santa will be good to you. I promise you. Okay, so it's cracking me up that Scott and I are on this show talking about babies and strollers because, yeah, it was a long time for us. So, Ricky, take over, please.
It is definitely not.
I'm going to put myself on mute and sit back for a while.
Exactly. This is why we did the trip report first and waited for Ricky.
I see. You already knew what was going to happen. So you're like, you know what? Ricky's not going to be here in time for the first one. So we're going to make sure I swap this because I know this question's coming. Got it.
This is the part of Jungle Cruise where you go into like the cave and like, I'm just going to sit down and not say anything for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
My lights. Exactly.
Yes. Well, okay. I have had some experience with this lately. Matter of fact, we didn't take her into the parks this last trip, but we'll definitely be taking her into the parks in December or this month, at the end of the month, because Lucy is going to get her first haircut on Main Street USA at the Harmony Barbershop. So very excited about that. So she's definitely coming with us. It's definitely one of those things where I always suggest, going at their pace. It's so important, but definitely have that stroller with you. That's going to be so key. Make sure you have things like snacks and stuff like that. So that way you're good. I think the question was about, the first question was about, oh my gosh. What?
Rider swap. How's
Rider
that?
swap, yes. So I've definitely done rider swap. And basically how it works is you go up to the cast member, you tell them you'd like to participate in rider swap, and they ask you who is going to be riding first and who's going to be riding second. So the person who will ride first will get in line, or if they have lightning lane, they'll go into lightning lane and ride the attraction. And then the second party will wait until that person comes back. They can go do whatever, chill, have a snack, let the baby sleep, which is going to be, also a key thing. Definitely let the baby nap in that stroller. When you're doing that, go grab yourself a snack, go grab a drink, go do whatever. Just let the baby kind of nap and chill out. And you've got some time to just kind of hang, which is also kind of nice. So that part's kind of cool. So then you're going to go back. Once you're done, the person who did not ride, they are going to go to the cast member at the lightning lane area and say, hey, we have rider swap. By the way, they will scan your magic band originally to say that you're participating in rider swap. Or if you don't have a magic band, they'll scan your ticket. So just keep that in mind. And then that person and anybody else who didn't ride the first route will be able to go the second time. So that's kind of how that works. As far as stroller parking, yes, stroller parking is definitely an interesting phenomenon. I would definitely suggest trying to. So we don't have like a big stroller anymore. I got rid of all of that. I just have like
that's like a huge power tip, right? Because like
yes,
first trip you think you got to have, because I thought you had to have like the big stroller, the big Jeep stroller, dude.
No,
you want like the sleek, light umbrella stroller that can lay back and be covered, but it has to be light and foldable quick. You got it's got.
I agree with that. They have this Minnie Mouse stroller. I don't suggest using that because everybody and the brother has the Minnie Mouse stroller, so don't do that one. But we have,
You want McLaren is what we had, dude. It was the Cadillac of strollers.
No, so we don't even have that. My mom bought us a stroller off Facebook Marketplace, and this is the one we use. It's simple, it's easy, it's got it's got a spot for storage, so that's underneath, so that part's nice. It's got cup holders, but it's just not big and bulky. It's really compact. It's a little difficult to close, but other than that, like it's a great stroller. We use it all the time around here, and I've used it many times at Walt Disney World. It's so great. Just do not bring your gigantic big stroller. Please bring a smaller stroller. It's just going to save you so much time and so much hassle. So definitely going to be a tip there. When you go on attractions, make sure you take any bags with you as well, because you don't want, people going through your bags. Not that they would, but you never know. So I definitely would take bags with you and things like that. Or squirrels are often known to go through bags as well. So just know that you definitely would.
Especially.
Exactly. Yes.
No kidding. I see them happen all the time at Epcot, especially over by Imagination. Do the squirrels.
Squirrels are definitely, they know that there are bags and they know that there's food in them. So they will go through them.
I see it all the time over there. I'm not kidding. At that stroller parking by the land, I always see squirrels going through strollers there. So
it's totally true. So the other thing that we did is we made sure we differentiated Lucy's stroller. So on the Minnie Mouse stroller, we wrapped it in red ribbon and then put her name on it. But then with the other stroller that we have, I literally just have like one of those hanging toys that she doesn't play with it anymore because she's kind of grown out of it. But it's just, it differentiates the fact that this is her stroller. So it's easy and I'm a lot more able to find it. Yes, Disney does move strollers.
Yeah, that cracks me up. I love when the cast members shuffle them all around while everybody's inside the
it's just so that they can make sure that other people can get in the stroller parking.
For the parents,
it's to mess with parents too. But don't freak out. Don't fret. Oh, hey, my stroller's missing. More than likely, nobody stole your stroller. I mean, it happens sometimes. But
you didn't give like the pro baller move to like delineate your stroller. You put like a cute little thing on it. I do. What you're supposed to do, right? Scott knows.
Get a balloon?
Nope.
Oh.
Get bag on there so it looks like you have a dirty diaper hanging.
That's also true. Yes. Yeah. The dirty diaper bag.
It's not really a dirty diaper, but you got to keep people guessing.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Like a grocery bag. Just
yes.
I'm just saying.
There's that. Yeah. The other thing a lot of people do is a lot of people are putting air tags in their strollers as well, which can be an option if you're really that concerned. Especially if you're bringing like a really expensive stroller, then you might want to put that air tag in there. Again, my stroller's cheap, so if somebody steals my stroller, well, that's their problem. They can have my stroller. I'll just go buy another one. The cheap stroller, the Minnie Mouse one that I already have. But yeah, so those are kind of like my general tips. When you're looking for stroller parking, which can obviously be a more difficult thing as well, you're gonna have to look for the signs that say stroller parking. Don't park it in a spot that says "Do not park a stroller here," because that will be a time when Disney moves your stroller. So don't expect
put a boot on your
yeah, exactly. So don't expect your stroller to be sitting where it says "Do not park your stroller here." But sometimes it's a little more difficult. Like when we were on Kilimanjaro safaris, the area for stroller parking was completely packed. Or not Kilimanjaro, but we went to the Rafiki's Planet Watch. The area was completely packed. So, just kind of maybe do a couple laps around. Eventually, someone will move their stroller. So, you just kind of got to look and search for that. But other than that, it's pretty easy and simple. And, just have fun. Enjoy. You're going to have so much fun with your little one. I promise. We had so much fun with Lucy the last time. Do go to Rafiki's Planet Watch if you can. It was a lot of fun. We took Lucy there the last time, and she had a lot of fun petting the animals. So that's going to be a huge tip too. But you'll have a good time.
I always forget that Rafiki Planet Watch is back there. And it's when I go back there, I love it because one, you get to ride the train, and it's the sideways sitting train, which is always fun. And it's like hands-on. It's like the petting zoo it's such a cool experience. And I bet you 90% of the people don't even know it's there.
Oh, for sure. I hadn't been back there in years, and I don't think before that trip Brian had ever been back there, to be honest. And if he had, it had only been one time. So yeah, we don't ever go back there either. So it's definitely a spot that people miss.
And I just have a feeling too, like its days are probably number 2. So like get back there.
I don't know. There's a lot of pens for the animals on the way back and everything like that. So I feel like there's a purpose for it. Plus they have all the veterinary. They have a lot of veterinary like procedure rooms there. So they probably would never get rid of it. But they may not let guests go back there anymore. Who knows? But yeah, that's going to be.
All right. So I'm going to ask Scott for one more tip for taking something he learned when he took Emily when she was younger. My one thing I would say, because you got all these relatives going too, make sure you have Memory Maker. Make sure you have Memory Maker, because I know you have your phone and everything, but have a Memory Maker when you have folks out there like Kim Taylor. Because no kidding, like Disney has gotten so good at this over the past like 5, 6, 7 years. These folks that are the PhotoPass photographers, they're not just taking snapshots. They are taking memories. They're capturing memories, videos and pictures because they think of ways, because they do this every day. They're thinking of ways to pose and capture these memories with castles in the background and Tree of Life and Spaceship Earth and all these other things that you are going to get the most amazing pictures. And when you only get them, like the commercials, they're only 11 months old once. And it's only a first trip one time. You will not regret spending that $169 pre-trip. You will not regret it. So
absolutely get Memory Maker for sure.
So Scott, what do you have maybe for this? Because we're just about out of time. It's
very similar to what you were saying. Pictures and videos are great memory makers for me. Pun intended there. But I like finding spots that you don't think are going to change very often in the parks to do like a growth chart. I've done that so many spots in Walt Disney World. So, and I have a regret. I wish we would have gone when Emily was younger. I didn't really know anything about Disney when Emily was 11 months. So like getting a castle photo, because that castle's not going to change. And then you go a couple of years later, then you do another, try to like do a similar pose. So try to do like an obvious pose with your child in many different spots in the park. So that the next time you go, you can kind of mimic that. And then through the years when they're a senior, like mine is now, then you can look back and like, oh my God, look at the growth that they've made all through these years. So I think that's really important. And then just like the naps too. I mean, the child's going to want a nap. So just have those built-in breaks. I think that's kind of obvious. So make sure you go back to Pop Century and relax. I know you got a big group with you. So maybe someone else, maybe the aunt could take the 11-month-old for a little while, so you and your husband can go do some stuff too. So
that's huge too.
Try to get creative with the break so that everyone can have a good time.
That's big too. Yeah, if you can have somebody go off, take the baby. We had uncles go and take the baby, and so that was how we did child swap, so that they could have some time with her. And that's how we ended up with a Figment in our house, because they went shopping with her, and they're like, we have to have the Figment. Exactly. So, that's how we have that. But definitely let them, and see if maybe they'll let you go on a date night or something. That might be nice too. I'm just saying, it might be nice to have a little bit of alone time.
This kid is gonna get spoiled on this.
Oh,
mean,
for
it's-
sure.
It's right around Valentine's Day, early February. So, I mean, I think a Valentine's date in
Ooh.
Epcot sounds like a great plan. Maybe go to Tutto Italia for
Nice.
Our money's worth out of this.
Is this romantic?
Exactly. It's not too soon to get in your is this romantic situations for next year for 2025. Send those to Mike at beourguestpodcast.com. All right. Well, we're getting out of here because I have a plane to catch. And again, follow me at beourguestmike from the Treasure this week, Thursday through Sunday. I'll be giving you all the coverage from that. It's going to be a fun ship. We're going to have a good time. So at beourguestmike, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and the Be Our Guest Podcast Facebook page. And of course, in the clubhouse, you need to hang out in the clubhouse with us. We're going to be having fun over there. beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. All right. Give Scott a follow at Scott. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs. Scott's also has must-see adventures on YouTube. Ricky's got a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, and she's over at themouseforless.com. You can catch us everywhere. We're all over the place.
all over.
Recording the shows. Don't forget, you can support the show by booking your next trip with us over at themagicforless.com. Just swing by the website and fill out that free no obligation quote form. Our services are absolutely free to you to plan that next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney vacation. So let's work together on that next trip and make it magical. It's awesome. Again, over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link as you shop online during this holiday season. It's one extra click. Just put the bookmark right there on your toolbar. And every time you got to buy something, I don't think the girls are listening. I bought them. And again, this is when you have daughters, you have to buy these things every year. External battery chargers every year. So boom, clicked right through. Little commission to the podcast, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Scott, do you go through those? You will, Ricky. You got to buy those like extra.
I don't. And I'm the only one that would ever use them. So I don't think my family's ever used one, honestly.
Oh my gosh. And the thing is, here's the thing. This is just my thing real quick. She never recharges it. Like she thinks the fairy gods will recharge her external battery. She was like, do you have an external battery? I'm like, I've bought you two. Like you got to it's dead. I'm like, well, when you get home, you got to put it back. You got to recharge the external battery. So when because she'll be like at school, then have to go straight to a game for cheer. Not get home till night. Well, of course her battery's going to be dead because she's on the thing constantly through school and on the bus and all that. It drives me crazy. So I get her another one so I can babysit the things and charge. It's just like being on vacation when you're at Walt Disney World, right? Like when I go back to take a nap, I get everybody's electronics, charge everything up. That's what I do. That's what dads do. Anyway, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon if you have to live my life with the external battery situation. Also, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast, $5 a month. You can support the show. Thanks to everybody who does. It really, really does help us out a ton. For that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. We talk all kinds of fun stuff over there. So come on over, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. No live show this Sunday night because I'll just be getting home. But Monday, join us for the recordings. 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central. It's going to be us three. We're going to get Ben Lappin to join in the fun. We'll be talking all about the treasure, just about all that good stuff. Ricky knows all about the ships. Scott knows all about the ships. We'll be talking about Cruise Line, comparing it to the Wish, because we've all been on the Wish.
Mm-hmm.
We've all been on the other ships. We'll do a little compare, contrast, Venn diagrams. Who knows? It'll be fun. So so be with us as we record live. Drop in your questions, comments, all about that. 2 shows all about the Disney Treasure, recording Monday at 5:30 Eastern. So join us live for that, and we'd love to have you there. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. We'll be back again on Friday with Scott's trip. We're talking all about the fort. We're just gonna stay at Fort Wilderness, Fort, all 24/7 on Friday. Let's do it. All right, so until then, you guys have a great Wednesday. So for Ricky and Scott and Pam's thinking of you too. You guys have a great Wednesday. So you guys have a good one. Stay safe, stay healthy. And I know I'm on vacation already. We'll see you real soon.
Did the dog distract
You
you?
should say yins for Pam. Like that's the Pittsburgh thing.
The dog popping up there. And I'm like, what day is it again? What day is it?
Daisy says, "What's up, guys? I'm part of the podcast today."
The dog looking at me. I'm like, dude, what am I saying? Dude, where's Pam? I'm like, what am I doing? What?
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Say hi.
All right. I'm gonna edit these bad boys and go
Daisy.
get me some
Daisy.
tostada.
I got some goulash downstairs ready to.
Oh, look,
go
I'm
through
Ricky's dog.
I'm Daisy. I'm Daisy.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
if I had
man.
that dog, dude, I'd be a millionaire.
I'm Daisy. I'm Daisy. I hate
All right,
this.
I'm gonna sign off. Have some
All
dinner.
right.
Have
See
a
you
good
guys
night,
later.
everyone. We'll talk to you, Mike. Have safe
Mike,
flights.
enjoy
I'll talk to you.
the trip.
I talk to you
All
every day, so I'm sure
I
I'll talk
will.
to you.
All right, I'll see you guys.
See
All
you
right,
guys.
see ya. Bye.
Bye.